Welcome to the Weekend Live Show. We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night.
Is where I'm from.
Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from.
Marshfield, New Bedford, Brockton, Malden, Tucsonville, Manchester, Albuquerque's in the Hampton, Hubbardston, Quincy, Hudson, Gardner, Manhattan, Conway, New Hampshire, the Garden City, Agawam, Poison, Plymouth, Fitchburg, Lake Titicaca, Los Angeles.
This year, cause we're ruthless, yeah, that's some true shit. You don't wanna mess with cheddar in this cup, we left you catch in the ambulance.
You have a job, what do you do?
Leave your clothes, buddy, and
I start
then we're scooping up your pants. 508, where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from.
You lived, I'd come to your house, I'd sit outside, roast marshmallows right in your fucking yard.
NFL on the house, on that.
Let's get this party started, shall we?
Hey, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your fearless host here. They call me Uncle Turtleboy around here, although I prefer Dr. Turtleboy because if Joe Biden's a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor. We do this every Tuesday and usually Saturday night at 9 p.m. unless there's a sport ball match, which there was last night. Notre Dame kicked the shit out of Clemson. That was great to see. The season was salvaged somewhat, so that was a good day of college football. But anyway, yeah, so we do make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Because like I said, we do this every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. Also hit that notification button because you want to be notified if we do like an impromptu live like I did last night. You know, you never know when that's going to happen. And yeah, all right, cool. So yeah, I've shared this on social media. All the links are in the description below. So go and follow those and everything, and we'll be good. I do have a freestyle plan for tonight, guys. So if you guys would like me to do the freestyle and unlock it, please feel free to donate to Turtle Chat. It's a link at the top. We can't monetize this stream because I have the wrong opinions about the climax and Joe Biden's mandate of it about a year or so ago. But actually, I prefer Cash App if you have Cash App, because usually what happens is you can donate. You click on that thing at the top that says Turtle Chat. You can click on that. You can donate whatever amount of money you want. And then the money goes, I get like an email notification about it and you get to write a message. And I would normally bring the message up on the big screen. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working. Like you can donate. I just don't get the email notifications and I can't figure out why. So if you could feel free to do the Cash App instead. My Cash App is $ Uncle Turtleboy. We can do it that way. If we can get $200, we can unleash the freestyle. It's mainly about that crazy broad Karlyn, who we're going to talk about tonight. She's quite a feisty one. I've been watching this woman for the last 3 or 4 days now, and just holy shit. That's all I got to say. Holy fucking shit. So anyway, let's just jump right into it right now, shall we? So oh, by the way, we're also doing this on Rumble because we're going to be moving to Rumble full time in the near future. So I am going to put the Rumble chat in the comments right now so you can go watch us on Rumble or here on YouTube. It doesn't really matter, but subscribe to our Rumble channel if you haven't already. YouTube is very, like, they don't let us monetize. It's gay. It's wicked gay. And things get taken down all the time and we don't even get notified about it. It's susceptible to copyright strikes. It's like absurd. So it's gay. A better alternative has been created. It's just about migrating people to that platform, getting used to it. So feel free to test it out. I just put in the link there, but I will be able to read your comments on either of them. Okay. So again, if you guys want to do the freestyle, again, this is kind of what we do here at Turtleboy. It's how we fund it. It's crowdfunded. That's one thing we've learned through the Elon shit with Twitter too, by the way, is that Twitter has lost in the last week or so a whole bunch of advertisers through the same shit that I went through years ago. Basically, activist groups have called up advertisers and said, if you continue to advertise on this platform, then you're supporting hate speech and basically bullying them into not associating with them anymore. It's the same thing that Bob Murchison in the Boston Globe did with WEEI And it's what happened to me a while ago. And it's why I don't bother with advertisers anymore. And we ask Turtle Riders instead to, it's like with Twitter now, you're going to pay $8 for the blue check mark, and we become the customers that way. And that's the way it should be. So you guys are the customers, not the advertisers. If you like the content, you want to keep it going, the best way to do that is by donating to Turtle Chat or whatever, or by joining Turtle Club. That's also good. So, okay. So let's just jump right into this story here out of New Hampshire. Let me bring it up on my end. Okie dokie. So we published a blog the other day about a debate that happened or what happened outside the debate in Manchester between General Don Bolduc and incumbent Democratic Senator Maggie Hassan. This race was not expected to be close, but because of the red tsunami that's about to just roll over this country in 2 days, this race has become a toss-up and one of the most important races in the country. And it got interesting outside of the event the other night. So I got alerted. A Turtle Rider who was there with the Bulldog people said, I just saw Grundle Stiltskin get arrested for trying to assault Don Bolduc. And I'm like, get out of here. See, I thought, so for those of you unfamiliar with Joa Orga, he is a cheeky gentleman who is what we call a First Amendment auditor. I know does anybody in the chat not remember Joa Orga? Does you guys not? I'll just give you a brief refresher if you don't remember this gentleman. Let me pull up one of these blogs here. So yeah, this is the tweet that we saw get put out. It said from a blue check mark, so it must be important. It said, Don Bolduc's campaign says he was the victim of an attempted assault tonight while walking into the debate. Someone tried to attack, punch him, and he was arrested. He wasn't up. So this is Joe. His real name is Joe Hart. We call him Joa Orga or Grundle Stiltskin. Obviously, he's a moron. This is the first blog we ever did on him.
You're sticking out in the road to let you know.
He got pulled over by a cop in Johnston, Rhode Island, and he just harassed this guy. Like he followed the cop.
Is that what you do all day? Is take people's money?
So I actually do my job all day.
Yeah, stealing people's money.
I don't steal money.
Put them in a boondoggle kangaroo court. Take their money.
Okay, and so that's basically what these auditors do. They pretend like they're standing up for your First Amendment rights by just going around and auditing public servants. And as we've seen, they'll go into DTA offices, take pictures of people there collecting welfare, DCF offices. Like they'll go into any government entity, your local town hall, and just harass. Like they're looking for a fight. They're looking for the first old lady to say, you can't film me. And then they say, yes, we can. It's like, yeah, you technically can, but get a fucking life, dude. What are you accomplishing right now? What do you think you're doing? You think you're standing up for our rights by harassing police officers? He went to this cop's house, took a picture of his wife's car and posted it on his Facebook page. That was my first encounter with Joa Orga. Perhaps our most infamous one was when him and Josh fucked around and found out when they came to the Worcester police station and they attempted to audit the Worcester police. And the Worcester police don't play like that. And they had a victim of domestic violence who was there in the area where people are checking it. I don't know. Bottom line is the woman didn't want to be filmed and she was a victim of domestic violence. So like, you're not supposed to take video of her, and common decency tells you shouldn't do that anyway. But they did anyway. This was him and bitch tits, Josh Abrams. This was before Josh went to jail. And it didn't end well. So the Worcester police came out and ended up putting them both in cuffs. First, Abrams got arrested. And then outside, Joa got arrested. And did he squeal like a pig.
No, I'm leaving.
It's like, obviously Joa Orga is a joke. But then we get sent this video of what appears to be Orga getting into some sort of tussle with either Bolduc or a Bolduc supporter or something. It was unclear in the first video. So we just had him in cuffs and we're like, okay, he got arrested for whatever. And we were reporting what had been put out already. So the next day I wake up and I get a million notifications from this woman named Karlyn, who we're going to get into. And now I know who this woman is because I followed her before, because I first found out about her actually when she was on the Dave Rubin show. Do you guys know Dave? Dave is a one of these people who's like, he left the left. This is like a whole industry now of people on YouTube and with blogs and whatnot and on Twitter, of people who used to be Democrats or whatever, and then they've come around and they've become conservative, right, during the Trump era, because the left has gone extreme. That's their story. There's a lot of them, right? Dave is one of them. Brandon Straka, of course, is a famous one with Walk Away. It's a whole industry almost of people who have made a living doing this. And I saw her on Dave Rubin, and Dave's huge, obviously. He's got like millions. He owns Locals. He's got millions of followers. And so I'm like, well, she must be important because she's on with him. But he was interested in her because she was another person who walked away. That's the kind of people Dave likes to get on the show because it's similar to him. But you got to be careful who you get in bed with sometimes, because as it turns out, this woman is a goddamn lunatic, as we're going to see. So I woke up to a million notifications from this woman, and she followed me too. And so she's like tweeting out that, no, this guy is a free speech activist and he was assaulted by Don Bolduc, and the whole thing is a lie, they're saying. I'm like, what? So I watched, so she's like tweeting this a million times, like, you got this wrong and blah, blah. So she's got a video. So let's watch her video, shall we? Of what she says. Don Bolduc lied about being attacked. All right. So first of all, the mere fact that this woman is taking Joa Orga seriously is a problem in and of itself. It's like, Joa Orga's a joke. He's the squealing pig guy. Like, I thought like he represents himself, but no, apparently he has become ingratiated in libertarian politics in New Hampshire. I highly doubt Joa Orga has ever voted ever in his life. Like, I just can't imagine him showering very often. I would bet any amount of money he's a virgin, like, no doubt about it. Like, he's just a fucking weirdo. He's a loser, like, just a 100% old-fashioned nerdlinging loser. So to associate yourself with a gentleman like this is bizarre, because I thought she was like a serious political commentator because she was on Rubin. And I'm like, well, she must be serious, right? She must be a serious person. She is the candidate for governor for the Libertarian Party for New Hampshire. So the last person you'd want to be associated with is someone like Joa Orga. But no, she's proudly associated with this guy, and she takes him seriously. She calls him a journalist and an activist. And so let's watch the tape she put together of him. Okay, you see that? So check this out. So look at, you see, so there goes, Bolduc is running over to like shake hands with his people. And then all of a sudden, Orga comes, okay? And that right there, in and of itself, is a hostile move. Like, the guy's running for United States Senate. He doesn't know who the fuck you are. There's a lot of crazies out here. You guys know Lee Zeldin, the Republican candidate for governor in New York? Something happened to him in July. He was up on stage and a lunatic just like this just walked up to him and tried stabbing him. He like literally got intercepted mid-stab. Because that's the world we're living in. Now, if you're Don Bolduc, you don't know who the fuck this lunatic is. And quite frankly, he looks insane. So people are saying, are you going to try to and say Orga running up on Bolduc justified arresting him? Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to say. Of course it justified arresting him, because he was not arrested for assault. He was arrested for trespassing. They gave him a chance to leave and he wouldn't leave. Okay. You cannot, like, what kind of fucking banana republic do you people think we're living in, where you can just run up on a Senate candidate like that, a senatorial candidate, and just start screaming shit at him and then refuse to leave after you've been asked to leave. No, you can't do that. There are boundaries here. You can't fucking do that. So no, this is not some banana republic where you get to just run up to your fucking every senator you don't like. And like, who the fuck are you? What media outlet do you represent, Joa Orga? Like, who are you? So yeah, like this is not, so he was not assaulted, but let's just watch Bolduck's reaction here. So then he's like, get him out of here. Okay. He tells the cops, get him out of here. Now the guy in the black is a Bolduck supporter, and watch what happens. See, he grabs him. He grabs Bolduck. He pushes him and he jumps in between them. And okay. So this is what she's really obsessed with. He lied, right? He hit me. He hit me. He hit me. Watch again. Watch again. Notice right here. Okay. So Bolduck is standing there. And he gets pushed, right? Now his back is to Orga. All he knows is he has been pushed at this time, and Joa Orga is in back of him. So if you were Don Bolduck, what the fuck do you think what happened in that instant? It happened kind of fast. This fucking and all these people, oh, he lied. Bitch, put yourself in that situation for 1 second. You're fucking shaking hands with people. This absolute psychopath comes up to you, starts screaming shit at you. You don't know what the fuck he's saying. Next thing you know, the cops are coming over. You're getting pushed from behind. And it's like, oh, I'm really fucking sorry that he said he hit me. Somebody hit him. He got pushed. And that's it. So chill the fuck out. Later on, by the way, when he went and saw the video, he has corrected this. Okay. So you're just fucking wrong. He has corrected this. So, let's play some more. So this is a better angle. So I like, look at this dude. Like, look at him. Look at his fucking ponytail and his boots and the way he's dressed and his fucking sneakers. And he's like literally cornering him right there. Like, if you're this guy right here, you don't know who the fuck this guy is. If you don't actively read Turtleboy, you don't know who the fuck Joa Orga is. Give me a fucking break with this all blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't have fucking been there. Stop simping for Joa Orga. Joa Orga is a human piece of shit. He's literally the scummiest of scum. Stop fucking simping for Joa Orga just because you want to own the cons. Like, stop it. You look ridiculous. Stop it. So let's play some more. Look at him standing up, yelling in his face, getting ready. So he's like, get this guy out of here. Okay. And so this is the part Karlyn is obsessed with. They're like, he elbowed him, he pushed him, he assaulted him. She is actually saying that. So now, like, look at the defensive position Joa Orga takes up here. Doing the Heisman Trophy thing. He's going back. Like, that's the fucking push. Oh no! Stop the fight. He tried to get this fucking lunatic away from him. Oh no. Oh, arrest the general. Oh yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit, what a joke. So yeah, it's really not a big deal. Like, the whole thing, the only reason I had any interest in the story is because Joa Orga was involved. If it was anyone else, I would not probably have written about it, because it's just like, it's funny. It's like, here's this guy we know that we've written about 1 million times before, getting involved in a situation with Don Bolduc, and it's fucking hilarious. Of course, I'm going to write about that, especially when I get the first footage of it and I get it. And then let me look at this guy. Come on, look at him. Like that guy runs up to you. You're in General Bolduc's just supposed to be like, "Oh yeah, let's have a conversation, sir. You seem normal. Let's talk right now. I'm here to talk to you for some reason." And you know, for some reason, like this is what the Libertarian Party in New Hampshire points out. And you guys know how I feel about libertarians. They are literally the most useless people on earth, the most useless party that has ever existed. All these people out there say, "Oh, we should have more than a two-party system." No, we shouldn't. We should have two parties. That's it. Because this is what you get. I mean, just it's the only way to do it. It's the only way in which you can have an actual winner that over half the people voted for is with a two-party system. And what even is the Libertarian Party? Like what? So you're just Republicans who smoke pot? Like what is your deal? Like they don't even have a solid position on anything. If you ask 10 libertarians how they feel about immigration, they will all have a different opinion. Some of them believe in complete open borders because liberty, right? Others don't. When it comes to abortion, some of them are pro-choice, right? Because liberty of the mother. Some of them are pro-life because liberty of the baby. They don't even have a fucking position on anything. At least Republicans and Democrats have positions on things. Libertarians don't. It's just a way for look at me people who want to talk about themselves and be like, I don't align with either party. I'm a libertarian. Yeah, so you're nothing. That's what you are. You're literally fucking nothing. Libertarians don't get elected to anything. They never win. If they're a third party, they would win sometimes, preferably a third of the time, but they win never. They win never. Okay. And you know, I see people saying the third party system works. How's it going in England? How many prime ministers have they had in England in the last couple of months? How's that going? How's that going in Israel? I mean, how many fucking times has Benjamin Netanyahu been in some election? I can't even keep track of how many of these fucking kangaroo countries work. Stop it with the third party. Stop it. It's ridiculous. People don't know about the history of this country. We had a four party system at our country's early days. And in the election of 1824, there was four candidates that ran. It was John Quincy Adams, Henry Clay, Andrew Jackson, and some other guy. And how it worked at the time was whoever got fourth, if like they would take everybody votes, and whoever gets fourth has to give all of their electoral votes to someone else, third and fourth. And Henry Clay got third, and he gave all of his electoral votes to John Quincy Adams because they didn't like Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson had the most. He's the only person in American history, the only candidate for president to win the popular vote and the electoral vote and lose the election. It's never happened before. Andrew Jackson got more, look it up, election of 1824. He got more electoral and popular votes than any presidential candidate in American history. Lost the election. Why? Because he didn't have over 50% of either. Because that's what happens when you have a multi-party system. And then the Henry Clay party was like, fuck it, I don't like Andrew Jackson. So here you go, JQA. Have some of my electoral votes. You can have mine. And that's how it worked. So anyway, so back to this situation here. They're all mad about it and they're tweeting about it nonstop. And this is Karlyn. Like, dude. What? Dude, her it's like a turtle, like a pear-shaped turtle. What? So she used to be a Democrat. That's her big thing, right? There she is with Mayor Pete. She has some Bernie shit on, you know, voted for Bernie, I guess. And then she made a name for herself in 2020 because she wrote a Medium post in which she said that, like, oh, I went to a Trump rally and actually I like him now. To me, those people are strange. It's like, you just realized you liked Donald Trump. Like, oh, actually, I was this card-carrying socialist for a while. Then I realized it sucked. So I like Trump now. So were you just not paying attention before? Or what was your deal? But I digress. So she suddenly realized she liked Donald Trump. And it's a great way to get attention. because she wasn't the first one to do this. Again, Dave Rubin, Brandon Straka, who created the walk away movement. They've made a fine living basically with that same identity as I left the left. And so she's like, well, I left the left too. And so she gets a lot of attention doing that. And, you know, you look at her, you're like, okay, well, yeah, you look like a leftist, right? So that's cool. Like we could get this nice lesbian looking woman here, except she's not a lesbian as it turns out. She's completely heterosexual, it seems. And so she's going to walk away. So she joins the conservatives, but that didn't last very long. We're going to see. And then she decided to become a libertarian, and they tweet out stuff like this, like happy holidays. They tweeted this out like 2 months ago on the 4-year anniversary of John McCain dying. Now, I'm no John McCain fan at all. I mean, we need less senators like John McCain, quite frankly. But what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? Meghan McCain crying at her dad's casket, and you're like, happy holiday. What kind of sick, demented fuck does something like that? Insane. But it's just like, because they want to, because this is what libertarians do. Like, you can't tell me I can't say that, bitch. No one's trying to tell you can't say that. We're saying, what the hell's wrong with you? We get it. We know you can be a dickhead. It doesn't mean you're required to be. And this is why no one will ever take libertarians seriously, because you fucking tweet shit like this out. What the fuck's wrong with you? They're not a serious party. They have no intention whatsoever of like gaining political power or anything. They just seek to gain attention for themselves. People like Orga out there, just like, well, I'm going to put myself on YouTube and I'll get attention. That's the whole purpose of the Libertarian Party. Even Justin Amash, the only libertarian in Congress, called him out, how disgusting it was. And all these other people who don't like John McCain said the same thing. Now, the account has also posted a lot of anti-Semitic shit. You know, I try not to call too much stuff anti-Semitic, because to me, I don't think that, you know, my general philosophy on words is like, like nothing should be off limits, basically. And if it's going to be with all races, then that's, you know, it's like the same thing. Like black, Puerto Rican, white, doesn't matter, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, Muslim, whatever. You're all for, everybody's fair game. That's my general philosophy on it. And, you know, when it comes to anti-Semitism, it's like the one thing you can't fucking ever just say that, you know, you can't ever credit. I mean, look at Kyrie Irving, what's happening. Kyrie Irving he didn't even make the video. He shared a video, which is available on fucking Amazon. Somehow Amazon isn't in trouble for hosting and selling that video and profiting off it. But Kyrie Irving is in trouble for sharing it. And he's been suspended without pay for the team because he didn't get down on his knees and apologize to Jewish people everywhere for sharing a fucking video about, I didn't even watch the video. They say it's anti-Semitic, so is what it is. But so I try not to label things as anti-Semitic too quickly, because I just don't think that Jewish people should be protected any more than any other race of people. Like no one would ever rush to protect Christians like that, or even Muslims. Like we wouldn't do that. So we shouldn't, like, I feel like it's infantilizing. No. But I mean, this $6 million minimum wage, or like, what, why would you ever fucking write that? What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, she was up my ass the whole time after I posted this fucking first blog the other day. We have 3 angles now. You have smear pieces. Have fun, liar. Keep crying when he sues you, dear. The video is clear as day, and we have it from multiple angles. No matter how much of this other content you post, you cannot change what happened last night, that he got an innocent man arrested. So I thought so this is me. She's replying to me here. I thought that, like, okay, this chick follows me. She must be normal, right? She must she can be reasoned with. If I tell her who Joa Orga is, maybe she'll understand that he's not the kind of person that you want to associate with. But she doesn't. Instead, she just starts saying, you defamed Joa because you did not bother to fact check your publishing. Keep crying when he sues you, dear. Like Joa Orga is going to fucking sue me. Joe fucking Orga. Oh, dude, he's been talking about suing me for this guy right here is going to sue me. The guy who said this. Where'd it go? This guy's going to sue me.
But in reality, it's Turtleboy. Aidan Kearney, you are a child molester.
Yuck.
You signed non-disclosure agreements, so you could never talk about it ever again. And you guys, none of you guys will talk about it. But he's a child molester. The report is out there. You can check it out on Accountability for All. Disgusting. Do you know? Wait, I want to say this. He paid $500,000. $500,000 to shut that girl up,
Guys, and we also want to.
I thought it was $2 million, and I thought I took her to a Knicks game, and I thought she was 14. So I mean, it changes every week. This goddamn story with these people. So yeah, obviously that's completely made up. So you talk about deformation, Karlyn. I wish a motherfucker would sue me because we could have a lot of fun with that. Discovery would be. I mean, it's like, do you not know who I am, Karlyn? Like, I'm the guy you don't sue. I mean, you can sue, but it will not work out well for you. A lot of people have tried suing me, and it completely backfires. All it does is draw more attention to them. They become memes. I win, they lose. That's how things work around here. So I was under the impression Karlyn was a serious person, but apparently she's in the same category as Joa Orga. So she tweeted, literally, guys, I've never seen anything like it before. I've never seen, like, thousands of times a day she will tweet sometimes. It's fucking insane. And she would just respond to anyway, like, notice her tweets get no interactions. She's got 70,000 followers. She doesn't get any likes or retweets ever. It's just every random person she just responds to. And it's like, proof, he lied. Like, she's got some huge fucking scoop here. Like, oh my God, he lied. And then she says to Maggie Hassan, who goes, I worked across the aisle to cut taxes for New Hampshire families and small businesses while ending tax loopholes. Don Bolduc's support for a national sales tax will hurt New Hampshire small businesses and families. Then she writes, you guys might want to cover this. It's clear video evidence that Don, like, she wants to be useful so badly. Like, won't anyone pay attention to me? Hey, Democrats, here you go. This will help your campaign. I'm useful, right? Bitch, even Maggie Hassan didn't want to hear from your ass. No one cares about you. Literally nobody. You have 69,000 followers. 68,900 of them are there just to watch you fucking burn the world down and watch the dumpster fire you call life. You're here for people's amusement. You're not a serious person. Nobody takes you seriously. Maggie Hassan isn't going to respond to you. Nobody's going to respond to you because you're fucking crazy. And it's obvious just by going through that. You guys might want to cover this. She keeps saying, nah, they're all set. So anyway, she's also into pedophiles, as it turns out. So this guy's name is Aaron Campbell Brown. And she said, this is from 2014. It says Together Again. Interesting. And Aaron Campbell Brown was sentenced to 9 to 12 years in federal prison for trafficking child pornography. Apparently it was more than just trafficking kiddie porn. It was also like he was in the shower, I'm told, with a 12-year-old. I haven't read the full documentation of this, but I've seen what's already been posted, and it's undeniable. And so this account, this guy named Mike Harlow, who is also a walk away person, and I'm pretty sure Mike's gay. And that's like the big, like, Brandon Strzok is gay, Dave Rubin's gay. That's a big part of the walk away, is because, you know, for years Democrats championed themselves as the protectors of the gay community. But after a while, gay folks figured out, like, no, you guys suck. And so see ya. You know, like, and so anyway, so he became buddies with Karlyn, like, professionally through the walk away. And then he quickly realized what a psychopath he was dealing with. And he ends up posting this stuff. And here is an Instagram post she made in 2016, which is still up on our page. And it says, holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the original first ever letter I got from Aaron in prison circa 2007. Note the envelope. So this guy, she knew he went to jail for kiddie porn. She knew it. He's a child pornographer. Like, you will never have an easier opportunity to dump someone than if they go to jail for kiddie porn. They expect it too. Like, none of them would be like, really? I didn't see that one coming. I'm shocked. It's like, yeah, I'm going to jail for kiddie porn. I assumed you were going to dump me, obviously. But no, she didn't dump him. She stayed with him. This is 2007. The picture of him getting out is 2014. She carried on a 7-year relationship with this man from behind bars. Here's all the documentation. I won't read the whole thing, but basically, he took a plea deal. And if you take a plea deal in which you get 108 to 135 months in prison, like, you were looking at a lot longer than that if you didn't take the plea. So he wrote her haikus from jail. That's cute. A Valentine's Day card. She ran the Boston Marathon apparently in 2014 and got Donos from prison from him. And look at some of these tweets that she wrote in 2010. Aaron has just informed me that he thinks 4 to 6 kids is optimal. Dear God, help me. Yeah, 4 to 6 kids to fuck. Like, he doesn't want them to come out of you. He just wants to fuck them. That's why he's in jail for kiddie porn. The mere fact that you're talking about this man in the context of children while he's in jail for kiddie porn is bizarre at a time. It's like, dude, no, come on. Haha, phone calls from Aaron. So you're not going to leave your convict for a clown? No, baby, never a possibility. Okay. Damn you, prison email. If I married someone that's in prison, do you think I would still get presents? That might be the clinching question of the affair. Okay. Megan thinks I won't marry anyone but you. Aaron, why? Me, because they're not you, Aaron. Well, that's as good a reason as any. Oh, my child pornographer. Oh, it's just puppy love. It's so fucking weird. Oh, my God. Okay. So let me just check the donos real quick. Let me see here. Let me refresh the donos. I got a cash app here from Suzanne. Sends $50 for Red Wave on election day. Thank you very much, Suzanne. I appreciate that. We're going to have round the clock election coverage starting at 7:30 p.m. till whenever the elections are called. Probably go to like 2 a.m. on Tuesday. So make sure you tune into that. We're going to be streaming it. It's going to be good. We also have a dono here. I didn't get the email notification, but I do. It's a Turtle Cadet sends a hundo. Thank you very much, Turtle Cadet. So if Turtle Cadet has a message he wants to put with that, we could put it in the chat, and I'll bring it up on the big screen there. So thank you. We are at 150 now, 50 more for the live stream. For the whatchamacallit? For the freestyle, $50 more. We get to the freestyle. You can click on the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can just cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. But thank you very much to Suzanne and Turtle Cadet for that. So anyway, back to this situation here. So so there she is. And so I tell her, and I'm like, hey, what's up with this? And she goes, oh, you want a defamation suit from me too, huh? Idiot conservatives. It's like, no, you don't have to be a conservative to say, what's up with the kiddie porn? Like, I guess, I mean, the irony of this all is that she actually teaches people and parents, even though she's not a parent herself, about the dangers of like transgenderism and sex ed in schools and stuff like that. It's like, bitch, you date pedophiles though. Like you can't say you didn't know. He was in jail and you stayed with him because you were in love with a pedophile. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe you just have self-esteem issues. I guess it's easier to compete with 12-year-olds because they can't drive and they have curfews. Maybe that's it. I don't know. and they have training bras. I don't know, but for whatever reason, that was not a deal breaker to you, which I am just begging you, Karlyn. Let me just put it to you right now. Please sue me. I have not been sued in like 2.5 years. Ever since I dissolved my LLC, people just stopped suing me. I used to get sued all the time. Nobody sues me anymore because I can represent myself. And that's when the fun starts, when I get to represent myself in the courtroom. I don't have to pay out of pocket for an attorney. So please sue me. The Cash App is $ Uncle Turtleboy. Kelly, thank you very much. $ Uncle Turtleboy. So anyway, yes, for the record. And then she blocked me. Now, this is weird because as we're going to see, she's obsessed with a lot of people and she tweets at them all the time, but she blocked me. And I think we know why. I've seen a pattern with the people that she goes after. It's like they're hesitant to fight back. They're a little bit scared of her. But me, I love to fight. I live for this shit. I think she sensed that right away. Like, oh, I don't want to fuck with this guy. This guy might be crazier than me. And I wouldn't say I'm crazy. But I'm gonna I'm forever going to label you as the woman who fucked a diddler and stayed with him. Like nothing else matters. You could fucking cure cancer at some point. The only thing I'm ever talk about you about is that time that you had a 10-year affair with a man who made kiddie porn. Okay. And so, but then I searched the word defamation on her Twitter account and it's just everywhere. Okay. Or my lawyer. Cool. I'll forward your tweets to my lawyer in the morning so we can play. Oh, big tough guy. I love defamation lawsuits. I love them. Now let's get back to your participation in funding and trafficking child pornography. But if you want a defamation lawsuit against you, please keep going. I have the lawyers on speed dial. First of all, what the hell is even speed dial? Speed dial? Who even uses that word anymore? Everybody's on speed dial. You just plug the phone, you plug them into your phone, you just hit the button, it calls them. But speed dial, it's when you had to like enter a number into your phone and it's like speed dial 4. What? Speed dial? Her team of lawyers on speed dial. Amazing. Every time someone offends her on the internet, she's going to call her crack team of lawyers there. Sure thing, Karlyn. Cool. I'll forward your tweets to my lawyer in the morning so we can play. Psycho. And then Twitter permanently banned my account for posting public information they didn't like. But you're on Twitter right now. They also told people they banned me for abusive behavior, hateful conduct, and violent threats. None of these things happened. That's defamation. That's defamation. Oh, imagine I could just sue Facebook and Twitter every time they take down for defamation. Oh my God, I'd be so rich. That happens all the time. And then she tagged Ron Coleman and this is Harmeet Dillon. She's on Tucker a lot. I mean, these are real nationally known conservative lawyers who probably want nothing to do with her. She just tags them in it, assuming they'll see this and be like, oh, I'm going to jump right on that one. That's a winner. That's a winner. She's like Krusty Panty. She's on here. I've had some experience talking with defamation lawyers recently, having been accused by bad actors of serious crimes. And based on those combos, I'm reasonably sure that Twitter is guilty of defamation per se. Tell me this is not Krusty Panties again. Defamation per se. Actually, I know a lot about the law. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You know nothing. You sit on Twitter all day and talk, and you know nothing about anything, and you're not going to do anything, okay? You've probably never sued anyone in your entire life. Like, shut up. I need a defamation lawyer in Vermont. DM's open. When you call someone a pedophile on social media but can't prove that it's the truth, you can be sued for defamation without the person suing you being required to prove monetary damages. Yeah, you can sue a lot of things. Doesn't mean you're going to win, sweetheart. Not how it works. And nobody called you a pedophile enabler, perhaps. A pedophile enthusiast. Like, you're not actually doing the pedophilia yourself. You just get turned on by people who do. So there's that. Okay. I'll take tweets that got emailed to the defamation lawyers for $1,000. I really hope you have hard proof that I'm a sexual predator, Mikey. She's really obsessed with this guy, Mike Harlow. Real things like evidence that I've actually done things that are sexually predatory. No DMs of jokes about sex. We'll see. Looks like I'm going to, and she's really obsessed with this woman, Carrie Smith, we're going to see. Like, really obsessed. Tweets about him all the time. And there's a whole parody account, which you guys should go follow. It's linked in the blog. It's fucking hilarious. Highly recommend go following it, but they document a lot of this shit. So she's weird. She's in case you can't tell, she does tarot card readings and stuff like that, apparently. And is into like the spiritual stuff. I don't know. These are actual tweets. These are not faked at all. This one says, and I believe that the baby is a spiritual creature that never really dies, and if aborted, can still be born again if it so chooses. Your spiritual beliefs are no more valid than mine. Stop forcing your religion on other people. Well, that's basically what libertarians believe. Like, what? That's what I mean. Libertarians don't have a position on anything. What does that even mean? So the baby would have lived if it just didn't want to be aborted? What are you talking about? I believe that everyone also chooses to live or die. Everyone, always. Aborted children choose to be aborted. If they choose to be born into human form in the future, they can. Oh, okay, that's good. So no, I do not agree. Like, picture that. To be like, yeah, you know what? I'm just not digging this womb. There's not enough leg room in here. And I really don't want, I've seen my mother. I'll take my chances with the next one. So please abort me. I'll take one abortion, please. This is what? Okay. Yes, they do. Everyone who died in the Holocaust choose to die, she says. They chose to die before they were ever born because they collective wanted to understand the experience of ultimate oppression. That's why Hitler went to heaven, she says. What? I mean, bold move, bold take right there. So I got in touch with this guy named Mike Harlow after I saw all this stuff. I was interested in see what he had to say. He's like, basically, I traveled the country with her with Walkaway. I took her at face value. We were somewhat friendly. Then I started seeing what she is. She lied about a hotel discriminating against her. We're going to see that, and caused a bomb threat. She tried using my name to attack other people. When I tried to assert boundaries, it was the beginning of the end, and the hate campaign eventually started. Since then, I've learned I'm serving a life sentence of her obsession. So is my friend Carrie. She's made over 40 videos about me. I ignored her for a year. Then I had to take a stronger stand. I found out about her pedo past. I found out about Kieran. We're going to get to Kieran in one moment. And then, so Kieran is a British guy. He's like a photojournalist, and she collaborated with him about some stuff and wrote a story, and their professional relationship disintegrated when she started getting really fucking weird with him. And basically she tried to fuck him, or like confessed her love to him, even though she's married, by the way. So Victor is the husband, Victor. And wait till you see Victor. So Victor, I'll bring up she actually tweeted this yesterday. Let me pull this up. Give me one sec. At Dr. Turtleboy. That's my Twitter account. Go follow it. All right. By the way, I lost like 70 Twitter followers today because I tweeted about Donald Trump and what he did to his unnecessary diss of Ron DeSantis. Good riddance. Good riddance. I don't want any of you fucking people. All you Trump cocksuckers, you ball lickers, that he can never do anything wrong, and any fucking you're threatened by Ron DeSantis. You can suck my fucking dick. Get out of I don't want you following me. I'm ashamed that you ever followed me. I'm embarrassed. Get the fuck out. So anyway, let me pull up this Twitter account over here. One sec. Nope, wrong one. All right. Brother, how'd this turn? I said, who would you vote for in the Republican primary, Trump or DeSantis? Oh, 80%. My followers. No, what's up? Okay. Again, I was just going at it with these people. I'm like, maybe we can come to that later, but let me find out. Okay, here it is. So she tweets this yesterday. And I'm like, you have to be kidding me. She goes, 11 years ago today, I married my wonderful husband in a log cabin in Littleton, New Hampshire, with the gorgeous view of Mount Washington. Okay. but then 11 years ago today would be 2011. And this is 2014. Together again. Oh, okay. So the husband, I think it's clear. Now, I don't want to deform her or anything like that. And I invited Karlyn on to come on, but obviously she's way too cowardly to do that. She's the kind of person that will only go on her platform where she can completely control the environment and the questioning and stuff like that. But I would ask her, like, so I'm assuming, Karlyn, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, just an assumption. I'm assuming that your situation with the husband, I'm guessing, is you put him in the corner on a leash and you tell him to take his 3-inch dick out and masturbate while you have sex with other men. I'm guessing. I don't know that. There's not a statement of fact. This is a guess. It's an educated guess based on what I've seen, based on the fact that you married this guy 11 years ago, but you were still carrying on some sort of relationship with a pedophile. And we're going to see what you did with Kieran. It's even weirder. And by the way, she spent her entire fucking anniversary on Twitter tweeting that video out 100 times. So that guy obviously, I mean, it's like crusty panties. The same thing. Like, these people need weak men to be around. Obviously, no sane man would ever put up with that. So they find weak men that they can just fucking take advantage of. And you treat like shit and walk all over. And that's essentially what she has, apparently. So Karen White. So she posted this guy's, it went badly with him. And she started posting his information on there. And did you guys read these messages? Holy fucking shit. He sends this a year ago yesterday. Happy anniversary to Victor and you. Enjoy steak. It's like, it's all the correct response is thank you. On her anniversary, she professes her love to this man who's like in his early 20s, I guess, saying, I know the timing is weird. Yeah, it's your anniversary, but I've been thinking about this all week. I have feelings for you. I just don't know what to do. I want to thank you. What? I don't know how you feel. And then she just goes on. I have no intention of leaving my marriage. Yeah, because he's in the corner watching on a leash. Why would you leave? Why would you leave? You obviously got a situation there. You're just going to fuck other guys. Like, it's okay. You just be open about it. Like, no judgment. But that doesn't change what I feel. I didn't realize until I got smacked in the face with the other day and started crying because I didn't know what to do. And it felt impossible. I don't even know if she met this guy before. He lives in England, for crying out loud. They had a brief professional relationship, and imagine getting all this. You'd be like, okay, so I'm never going to talk to you again. But he goes, that is quite a lot to digest. Right now in full, however, as I always say, trust and openness is paramount in friendships and professional relationships. So I thank you for sharing this clearly uncomfortable information with me. Believe that we work well together and share a common goal, which is why clear communication and boundaries are important. I wouldn't want this to get in the way of that. As I know you wouldn't. Basically saying, bitch, I'm all set. I'm good with you, but trying to be nice about it. Then she says, it's funny. I could actually feel you building a little wall up as you were reading this. What? Yeah, why wouldn't he? But that's fine. Like I said, you can do with this whatever you like. That's very kind of you, Karlyn, to tell him that he can choose whether or not he wants to sleep with you. Very nice of you. I don't expect anything from you, and I mean that. Everything is okay, Kieran. So this is November 5th at 10:14. She messages 30 minutes later. Then they don't talk for 2 days. November 7th, she goes insane. But I want to talk to you. We're going to be each other's lives for a long time. You and I have karmic connections in our charts. What? I don't know that we could control it even if we want to. The best thing is to roll with it. Otherwise, we're just going to make things harder than we need to. Got your email. We should really talk in person. He lives in England. Yeah. Okay. Twin flames aren't always about romance. They're about lessons. I never saw you as a romantic partner. Okay. Imagine this. You'd be like, dude, I'm never talking to you again because You're a bunny boiler. You're fucking crazy. I feel strongly we need to talk in person, but it's your call. I have the stream at 5. That's at 7:17. At 7:20. You're still so young. I forget. There's so much you don't understand. That's my fault. I will be blunt, she says 15 minutes later. I do not want to see everything be thrown away because you're intent on dehumanizing the entire situation. This is what narcissistic people do. This woman is textbook narcissist, by the way, textbook. What they do is they love to gaslight you. And if you reject them or whatever, they immediately put it on you. Like, oh, you're just rejecting me because there's something wrong with you. There's obviously nothing wrong with me. I'm perfect. So obviously there's something wrong with you because who wouldn't want to be with me? And a lot of people think narcissists, they think like, a good looking person. No. Our narcissistic people can be very ugly. They have a brain problem where they truly think that they are, they've never once contemplated the idea that I might be wrong about something, or maybe this is my fault or anything like that. They're incapable of that. So this is not my preference, but professionalism. This is the route you'd like. We just part ways, and Unwoke X and all the other project. That is not my preference. Play and creativity. The only day it works, blah, blah, blah. I don't want that. We need to talk. 15 minutes later, sends a Zoom call. He doesn't respond. You were the one that said you want the trust fund. I mean, what if he's sleeping? You need to trust me at 8:06. 45 minutes later. I'm going to be so beyond disappointed if this is the way things end because you didn't trust me enough to have a conversation with me. Okay? An hour, 10 minutes later, get on the Zoom. I wasn't angry at all before. In the least little bit. Now I'm starting to get angry. Like, dude, this is so fucking familiar for me. Like, when I read these messages, I'm like, I've seen these messages before. These are the LG messages. Like, these are the messages I got from her. Like, they were that fucking crazy. And it was just like blaming, like, they make you feel like you're a shitty person. You're like, oh, like it's everything. They convince you that everything is fucking your fault. And you're like, well, maybe it is my fault. Like, maybe I am a bad person. And it's like, and then it's just a stream of texts like this. And then you don't respond and they yell at you some more. And it's like, well, am I a bad person? Like, what? Maybe I am a bad person. I'm extremely angry, but every reading I have on this situation continues to tell me that we are supposed to be in each other's lives no matter what. Oh my God. If you don't talk to me tomorrow, I don't know that it'll work. And then she goes, I'm sorry if some Asperger's thing. Again, the gaslighting, the narcissistic gaslighting. Talk about, spectrum, honey. Like, you're the last person who should be telling other people they're on the spectrum. You're a little bit obsessed. Okay. Just saying. Makes it difficult for you to understand why I'm angry, but could all have been avoided if you had just talked to me in the first place. And there's no way I'm going to continue to go back and forth on email regarding this. I didn't want, nobody's going back. It's just a force. There's no back. I didn't want to make sure I was clear. And because I don't want to cry in front of you, I'm not going to continue it. That's at 5 a.m, 5:04 a.m. Later on in the day, she sends a Zoom. You're not innocent in this, how it's turned out, Kieran. I wanted to have a conversation with you like a human being. I'm sorry you feel uncomfortable, but I feel uncomfortable too, knowing that you don't trust me. I can accept that you didn't like how I handled it, but to act like you handled it perfectly is wrong. What the fuck did he do wrong? Like, he handled it perfectly fine. If you want to fix this, you should stop and breathe, and we should try again. No, he doesn't want to fix it. Why would anyone want to fix anything? There's nothing to fix. You never had anything with them. You just worked on a project. You wrote a fucking story. It's over. So this is November 8th. We're up to, she's sending the Zoom again. Go ahead. And then she goes, I don't want to say this bit, but I feel like you forced my hand when you threatened to sue me yesterday. If you insist on cutting off all communication, making it impossible to move forward with any of the projects we discussed, I will consider you to have voluntarily resigned from those projects. Since at this point, I have to put up 100% of the financial backing, as well as the majority of our intangible assets, I will consider myself free to move forward with other partners. Since go ahead, since you have elected to opt out of the business relationship. If you would like to sue me after you opted out, go ahead and see how an American court handles it. This is not my preference. This is why I'm going to make every effort to fix this. It's your call. Basically, trust me, I'm a good person here. I'm not going to sue you. I don't want to sue you. Please don't make me sue you. All this behavior I'm doing right now, it's all because of you. If you would just behave, Kieran, and do everything that I want you to, then you wouldn't force me to act like this. It's really just, what aren't you getting about this, Kieran? Oi, so she goes on. If you do not come to London, then I cannot see how. So anyway, read the whole thing. It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it goes on for a couple more weeks. No responses from him. Imagine this. Look at this shit. Look at this. I've never seen anything like this. Holy shit. So she's a fucking lunatic. And let me just check. I'm gonna get to a video here in 1 second. We're gonna pull up. So let me check the Donos real quick. Okay, so we got and did we get the Turtle Cadet comment? Yeah, we're gonna get the audio tape in a second. Turtle Cadet, leave your comment that you want me to put up on that you sent with the Turtle Chat, and I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up on the big screen. I also got a $10 Turtle Chat here from Apache Al. Apache Al, if you'd like to leave your message with that, I can pull that up as well. So that brings us to 160. I got a message here from. It says I can't figure out your Cash App. Can't I send more money from my... Yeah, I mean, you could just send it with the Turtle Chat if you like, and then just leave a comment there. We'll pull it up on the big screen. So, did we see the Turtle Cadet comment? Let me bring it up if he's got it. I don't want to forget Turtle Cadet's comment. And the same with Apache Al. So bring that up too, please. Okay, so we're $40 away from the freestyle. If we can get there, that'd be cool. So let's, there's a guy on social media. He goes by iHypocrite. I don't know if you guys follow him. He makes a lot of memes. He's funny. He's a witty, conservative guy. I like him a lot. You should follow him. Hypocrite is his name. Anyway, he put together a very interesting video that we found out while I was researching this woman. And we're going to watch parts of it now, because it really gives you a window into what a fucking lunatic this woman truly is. Okay. Before we do that, let me play. So she went on last night and did a stream. She's trying to get the attention of a guy named Tim Pool. You guys know Tim is Tim from Timcast. He's a YouTuber. He's got millions of followers. Speaking of, he's a little bit, I'm not that into Tim Pool. I think he's like hyperbolic in his statements, and it's just like I get the notifications every time Tim Pool does a video. It's like all caps. Election will be overturned after bombshell report about Arizona voting machines. And it's like, and I'm like, oh, really? This election's going to get overturned. That's interesting. I turn up, then nothing fucking happens. I realized after a while, I'm like, oh, this guy just says hyperbolic shit a lot and whatever. I mean, he's good on some stuff, but he has a huge following. And so she wants to use Tim Pool to get attention. And I don't know if she's ever spoken with Tim before through her connections with Dave Rubin. So he says just simply more than halfway there for the freestyle. It's kicking some ass. There we go. That's the message. So anyway, let's play this video. So this is her last night. She sent the Don Bolduc video to Tim Pool, and she went on his show, and she did the super chat to try to get his attention. She paid $50 for a super chat about Don Bolduc. And he didn't fucking read it. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Hold on. I'm getting a text that says, I've got a big don't. Al's is up there. I don't know who that. is, but so yeah. So she really thinks that she's going to get this response. Yeah, he always talks about Civil War. I mean, it's just a little bit ridiculous with him, but he's got a huge audience, and so that's why she wants to use him. That he's useful in that regard. And she actually paid $50 for a super chat, because if you go on his stream and just comment, like, he's not going to read your shit. It's not like on here. It's a lot bigger audience, right? And so Kelly's saying, take another 10 from my Turtleboy account. I can't do that. You just click on the link at the top. You just click on the link. That's all. You don't need to download any app, and you just pay whatever you want that way. So, so let's play. It didn't go the way she wanted. And so she's going to cry about it here. Check this out.
Well, hey, listen, I definitely do not intend to make a habit of 2 a.m. streams. This was not the intent. I was laying in bed, not even wearing makeup. And I just, to be really honest, I could not stop thinking about, what do I do about this issue? Because we've been trying for the past 2 days to get footage to Tim Pool of the Bulldog debate. We've been trying for 2 straight days to get him this footage.
No one cares.
And I understand he's a busy guy. This is not a knock on him. I'm sure he has a million different things going on, and he doesn't always check the channel. And so I completely get it that he didn't have a chance to see it.
She forgives him.
Tim, you said on your show today, in the afternoon stream, and then on the show tonight, that
first of all, I love how she's like, Tim, addressing him like he's gonna fucking watch this. Bitch, you didn't even read your super chat for $50. He's not gonna. He probably doesn't know who you are. If he does, I'd be surprised. If he does know who you are, and he's still not responding to you, it's because he fucking is sick of you too. Just like everybody you've ever met, it seems.
You needed the full, complete footage from the Don Bulldog debate. We have it. We have been trying to send it to you. I have sent it to you in your DMs on Twitter. I sent you a DM on Instagram. I
sent you Bitch, you sent a lot of DMs on Twitter, as we've seen. And men ignore you when you do that. Just her idea of what this story is just wild. Like, what is even the story here? That a guy this lunatic got arrested, and he shouldn't have been arrested because there was a misunderstanding. That's that's fucking some bombshell in New Hampshire of all states. I mean, no offense, not for nothing, but nobody really gives a shit about New Hampshire outside of New England. Like, New Hampshire is only relevant on like every 4 years for the primary. Like, that's when New Hampshire's important. Everyone goes to the diners there and goes to Concord and Manchester and Portsmouth, and they go all over. They meet local folk and they shake hands with them because it's a real reflection of America, New Hampshire, right? Small little window of America up in this quaint New England village. So, but nobody really gives a shit. I mean, nobody's talking about the Maggie Hassan, Don Bullock race. Like, everyone's talking about Fetterman Oz or Blake Masters or Herschel Walker. Those are the ones people are talking about. I mean, the New Hampshire one's like an afterthought. So she thinks she has like some bombshell story here, and just, he's not answering because he doesn't give a shit, and no one gives a shit. And it's just really not that big of a story.
Emailed your website with the general email address on the website. I DM'd Luke because I thought maybe he could pass it on to you, and it's in his DMs. I've DM'd Ian and on Twitter and Facebook. I have, and again, I'm not knocking anyone. This is not like a slight on anyone. I've reached out to like everyone that I can think of that we might have in common to try to get you this footage. Because you need to see this footage, Tim.
You need to see it. You need
to see this footage.
You need to see it, Tim. It's really important.
This has nothing to do with me.
Except I'm obsessed with it. Besides that, nothing to do with me.
Oh
my God. Oh my God. Joa Orga.
You are one of the very few people that is, and my computer's just started flashing, so I don't know, maybe we're going to short circuit at any moment. You are one of the very few people that I can think of that will be able to tell the story that needs to be told in the way it needs to be told.
Yeah, only you, Tim. AKA
Don
hyperbolic.
Bulldog assaulted a protester
A
for
protester.
asking him questions about the war.
Oh, first of all, that's just a lie. Don Bulldog assaulted him. It was like he was standing right next to him. He's like, just elbow fucking grazed him. You assaulted him. A protester. Yeah, Joe is a protester. Sure he is. Joe is a First Amendment auditor freak who accosted him and ran up on him and got up in his personal space. And his fat fucking belly got grazed by Don Bulldog's elbow. And she's like, Tim, I have the video. Tim, why aren't you calling me? Why aren't you writing me back? I sent it to your producers. Did they not see it? Am I not important enough, Tim? Like she can't and this is what a narcissist does. They've never fathomed that, like, maybe I'm not the center of attention. Maybe I'm not that important. Maybe this just isn't that big of a deal. But it's not about her. Even though she's the only fucking person obsessively talking about this 24/7.
Then faked that protester had assaulted him and tried to get the protester arrested. And actually, no, didn't even try. Was successful at getting the protester arrested, even though the protester did not assault him, Tim.
Tim, what? You're talking about this.
We have the footage for you. I've sent it to you. I'm going to play it on this stream as well. The full complete footage, not the 10-second clip. The full complete footage from the moment that Don Bulldog gets there until the moment he goes in the building. We have everything.
The hours she spent on this and nobody's paying attention.
And I understand that a lot of people were sending you things, and I certainly really appreciate the people who have been trying to get in touch with you. So I understand how it could get lost in the shuffle, and I understand how you don't necessarily check all your different platforms and devices. I'm sure you don't even manage those devices.
It's like this Zapruder film.
I'm sure you have a team of people to do it for you, so I get it. But you have the footage.
You have it.
You have it.
You have it, Tim.
I'm going to right now, and I will add this to the description of the stream before I go to back to bed tonight, so you'll have it. But I right now am putting the link to the Facebook where this footage is, and we're gonna watch it on the stream for people who haven't seen it. I've already played it like 3 times, but just in case you haven't seen it, it is pinned to the top of the stream right now. That link is to the Facebook post made by a Don Bulldog supporter. It wasn't made by us.
Yeah, Tim.
It was made by a Don Bulldog supporter.
It's not biased,
so,
Tim.
Any idea that this was an intentional thing and we're just trying to set you up?
No, we're legit, Tim.
I
We're
understand
legit.
why you have those concerns, Tim. I really do. I get it.
Bitch, he hasn't watched any of it. Like he's like Tim Pool sitting there, like, actually, let me weigh the pros and the cons. Tim Pool has thought about this not at all. Like he's on to the next thing.
But you need to see the footage to see that we're not doing that. And I have to tell you guys, and this is just a general statement, I cannot tell you how many people we have reached out to about this. This is shocking to me. This is genuinely shocking to me that a candidate for Senate days before the election
in New Hampshire
assaults a protester for asking him a question in a parking lot, goes into the debate, says in the debate that he was assaulted when he was not, that goes all over the media, all over the conservative media who are lying about this.
Oh.
And we have all the footage. We have all of it.
It's a 10-second incident.
Everything.
What footage?
And no one will cover it.
Yeah, I wonder why. Like a normal person would be like, maybe it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I've done stories like this too. Like I'll write a story and I'll be like, this is a big story. This is going to get a lot of clicks. This is going to get a lot of views. People are going to talk about it. And then it's a dud. It's happened to me before. The Luke Noble stories. God fucking damn it. This light. Hold on. Hold on. We're going to get this right. Hold on. It keeps fucking falling over. Okay. Do it like that. I got to get something to put on top of it because it keeps fucking, it's like bottom heavy. Timeout. What's this? Some paperweights. There, that works. So anyway, so she's really mad about this. I forgot where it's at. That just distracted me. Hold on.
We didn't expect conservative media. We have all of it. Everything. And no one will cover it.
So I would quit at that point.
Conservative media to cover it.
Yeah, so like I remember what I was saying now. Like so I'm like the Luke Noble thing. I'm like I wished more people would be interested in that, but they weren't. And I just moved on. Because I'm not going to sit here and just find the next story. Just go on to the next one. Like, yeah, nobody cares about this. Just not that big of a deal, but a narcissist cannot think that way. They have to, like, I am the center of the universe. How are you not talking about this?
That would require them admitting that they are wrong, which they will never do.
Yeah.
And Joe is going to have a massive lawsuit on his hands. I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to see Joe's lawsuit.
Joe's gonna
started sending it out to the lefty media.
And bitch, that is why that statement right there is why nobody fucking takes you seriously. That's why Tim Pool's not getting back to you. That's why no one's listening to you. Is because what you just said that the Joa Orga is gonna have a massive lawsuit. That's why no one's taking you seriously. Because Joe Orga's a fucking joke. Literally, nobody takes Joe Orga seriously. Nobody. And the fact that you're associating with him, people are gonna be like, you're a joke too. And you are a joke. You belong with Joe Orga. You just got lucky.
Yeah, because God knows they don't want Don Boldock to win. And it's been crickets.
Yeah.
Except for Seth Abramson on Twitter, who wrote an amazing thread, who got absolutely everything correct in that thread.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's that. So let's pull up here. I'm going to pull up this video from iHypocrite. Do you guys follow him at all? He's pretty good shit. Let me pull it up here. This is a very informative video here. So let me jump to the first part here. It's like an hour long. I've queued up some interesting parts here. He put together the whole history of this woman very well. So let's talk. He's going to talk about her rise to fame first.
Was young, it seemed that life was so wonderful. Oh, a miracle. Oh, it was beautiful, magical.
On February 11th of 2020, Karlyn wrote a Medium post titled, "After attending a Trump rally, I realized Democrats are not ready for 2020." In her article, she talked about having been a Democrat for 20 years, but having become
So this is the story that first got her attention, right? The media one, where she's like, doing the whole walk away thing. But it's notice the everything was like, I walked away. I did this. It's like, it gives these people the impression that they're interesting and they're really not that interesting because they just want to talk about themselves. I walked away. And I see this a lot in her tweets, like conservatives, if you nominate this candidate, you're going to lose me. Bitch, no one cares about you. Nobody. I don't know what gave you the impression that you matter or that you represent some sort of sizable constituency that is at all relevant, but you don't matter. And somehow most of us would have picked up the context clues on that by now, but you don't pick up context clues. Like when you message a guy a million times, he doesn't get back to you. That's a context clue. You don't pick up on that. Interesting.
Disenfranchised due to being bullied by social justice warriors in the knitting community. This post was very well received in conservative circles and immediately opened doors for Karlyn. One being an invitation to join Brandon Straka's Walkaway organization, and the other, the opportunity to do a video for PragerU.
I wouldn't be caught dead at a Donald Trump rally. I mean, come on. I've given money to Bernie. And yet there I was, February 2020, listening to the President of the United States address a crowd of 11,000 supporters.
I mean, PragerU is a conservative media, whatever. So they love stuff like this because they wanted to make it seem like, oh, there's this mass movement of disaffected liberals who are joining the right. And I kind of fell for that too. They're like, oh, but clearly it's not that big because all of these people left the left after they all voted for Hillary, they said, and then they left the left in between 2016 and 2020. And so you would think there would be this massive movement towards Trump, right? But Trump won in 2016 and then he lost. So it was actually the opposite that happened. So they gave us this impression that there was this mass movement of people like Karlyn here who were leaving the left. But in reality, it was more the other way around. But
how in the world did that happen? Well, it all started with knitting.
The PragerU video has since been removed for reasons we'll get into later.
Oh, yeah.
But it was posted in July of 2020. And looking at Karlyn's social blade.
Okay. So now I'll go to the next part here. So that's basically how she got her. So she writes that Medium post. It gets a lot of attention. That's how she ended up on Dave Rubin. And that's how I started following her. I'm like, well, if she's on Rubin, she must be important or interesting or influential. So I'm going to give her a follow. And then her real colors start coming out.
In August of 2020, Karlyn was evicted from the Ingleside Hotel where she was staying for a walkaway event for reasons which vary pretty greatly depending on who's telling the story. According to Karlyn, she was evicted for being a white woman wearing a MAGA mask.
Dude kept getting in my face and screaming at me and threatening eviction. They were already threatening me with eviction at this point. And again, keep in mind, the only identifiable thing about me is like, I'm wearing a MAGA mask, right? Like this would not happen. Like for something like this, what it should have been is, you know, hey, can you just please wear the wristband if you're going to come to the water park? And I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I just wanted to take a quick look around and go back to my room.
So she claims that she got kicked out of this water park hotel because she wore a MAGA mask. Now, that story goes viral because, again, I mean, we all are guilty of this. Conservatives, and except for me, I'm the one that kind of like, I don't print shit that's not verified. But too often we appeal to our own biases. So, for instance, if you hear a story, if Breitbart hears a story about some woman who claims that she got kicked out of a hotel for wearing a MAGA mask, they're going to run with that. They don't give a fuck if it's true because that's exactly what their readers want to hear, right? We're under attack. They're kicking us out of shit. Whereas the left, MSNBC, if you tell them a story like, oh, somebody was racist to me. Some conservative was racist to me. Call me the N-word. He said he was going to lynch me. Jussie Smollett. They're going to run with that because that's what their readers want to believe. That it's the oppression Olympics. It does happen with both sides. And so this woman here, okay, is basically doing the whole, like, it's not verified, but MAGA loves it because they're like, oh, you're attacking us and this is what happens. Well, there's more to the story.
And so I decided I was going to be a Karen. Yes, I was a Karen. I admitted I was a Karen. And I went and asked to speak to the manager at the front desk. And my intent on this was to really say to her, like, listen, you've got a lot of people that are going to be staying here over the next couple of days. Because here's the thing, too. I kind of put two and two together that, like, the absurd reaction couldn't have possibly been about a paper sticky wristband. It had to be about the MAGA mask because, honestly, that's like the only thing. That is the only thing that makes sense. Either they harassed me for wearing a MAGA mask, they harassed me for being a woman, they harassed me for being a white woman, they harassed me for being a white woman traveling alone. I'm not sure any of those things are better than the other, but those are the only... that's the only explanation I can think of.
This story, again, went viral in conservative circles. She did a bit of a talk show tour telling people her story of how she was oppressed for wearing a Trump mask, even going on Glenn Beck's talk show to talk about it. It was a very harrowing experience for Karlyn. She had to pray to the angels and beg them to not let her get raped by a pack of roaming urban youths.
I don't get scared traveling by myself. I've been traveling by myself for a long time. I was terrified.
What?
I was actually terrified. I was like, I'm literally on a dark road in the middle of the night, just waiting for someone to come pick me up. These people, and apparently the sheriff allowed this to happen. Like, fuck you, sheriff, for putting a woman in danger at night. Fuck this hotel and fuck you. Because I was praying so hard. I meditate. I don't pray all that often. I was praying so hard. I was asking, like, when I pray, I ask angels for help.
Oh, yeah.
I was praying harder than I've ever prayed in my life to Archangel Michael to protect me and take care of me. Because I was terrified. There were cars coming in the hotel. Any single one of them could have stopped, could have assaulted me, could have robbed me, could have raped me, could have murdered me.
Oh my God.
Any single one of them.
Nobody wants to rape you. Stop it. Stop it. Like, what? Unless they're a pedophile, like, and then you would consent anyways, it doesn't matter. But I mean, it's like, talk about dramatic. Oh, I got kicked out of a hotel. I was going to get raped. How did you jump from that to that? Now she's going on. She's got this platform from being on Glenn Beck, from being on Dave Rubin. And now she's using this platform to attack a small business. Oh, not a small business, a hotel with a water park or whatever. And knowing what's going to happen, knowing that this place is going to get attacked by commenters who will believe her.
Oh, hang on. I gotta turn off the alarm on my phone. Hang on.
The Ingleside Hotel, as you can imagine, was inundated with negative reviews and telephone calls based on this event from angry conservatives white knighting for Karlyn. And they eventually put up a post with their version of events, which reads, soon after check-in, there was an incident in the water park. The guest was asked to put on the water park wristband per posted policy and became irate. She verbally abused and cursed at staff members, which violates our posted code of conduct. This incident was witnessed by a director, a lead security guard, 4 lifeguards, and 1 guest who posted their account online. The incident that led to the decision to evict the guest happened later that night. At approximately 10:55 p.m., a female guest from room 118 called the front desk and stated that a Caucasian female was knocking at her windows and door, harassing them about being quiet. I radioed the sheriff deputies to meet security guard 2 and myself in the hallway. Once we entered the hallway, we saw approximately 10 people standing in the hallway around 118 waiting to speak to us. Security guard number 2 and I questioned everyone in the hallway in regards to what was happening. A female directly matching the physical description of the female in room 122, that's Karlyn, was verbally harassing them. There were guests not only from room 118, but also at least 3 other surrounding rooms. The witness stated that this female was walking up and down the hallway, pounding on doors, telling them to shut up and be quiet. I am trying to relax. She also stated that Karlyn had been at her window pounding and was on her cell phone yelling, complaining to someone about the noise in the hotel. The guests in the hallway corroborated these statements and stated similar stories of harassment, many saying that this female was shouting at them when they were just walking by. When I asked if they knew about what room she was in, 3 of the adults directly pointed at room 122.
So like multiple people now, not just one, multiple people are like, actually, here's what happened. Actually, she's knocking on doors, acting like a lunatic, yelling at the top of her lungs. And based on the behavior we've seen from her, who do you believe? The multiple strangers who all similarly have the same story about her, and which is consistent with the behavior we've seen previously, or her? Tough one. I wonder who's telling the truth here. Interesting.
Due to the disturbances the evicted guest caused, we had to refund multiple guest room charges. We have collected statements from all team members and guest witnesses to corroborate their accounts. While being walked to the front door, the guest threatened to start a shitstorm and stated, "You have no idea of the shitstorm that is coming." Then they talk about how a security guard was watching her, waiting for her to get...
Does that not sound exactly like her? You have no idea the shit's everything with this woman is big tough talk. Oh, you're gonna get sued. My team of defamation lawyers. Oh, Joa Orga is gonna just destroy you. I mean, do these people ever self-reflect and go back and look at, like, I've promised a lot here and none of it has happened. I've promised a lot of defamation lawsuits. Maybe I should stop doing that and people will stop. No, they'll just keep doing it. They just keep doing it. That's what they do.
Picked up to make sure that nothing happened to her while she was outside as per their policy. And then it goes on to say, the evicted guest was wearing a mask with a political slogan printed on it. We want to be perfectly clear. The Ingleside Hotel supports free speech. Masks and other clothing items with political on the phone at the time with Mike Harlow, another walkaway speaker, basically using him as an alibi.
So the hotel basically says, no, we actually host conservatives all the time, so it has nothing to do with that. You're just crazy. And that Mike Harlow guy who ends up showing all that stuff about her pedophile past, he goes on there and he posts that she attempted to use him as an alibi, basically saying like, I couldn't have done all those things because I was on the phone with Mike Harlow, which makes no sense at all because you could still have done that.
Which he would later go on to disavow and express disgust that he was being used in that way.
So she immediately claimed that it's because she was wearing a Trump hat. Let me just say right now, by the way, I was wearing a Trump hat when I went there, and the staff was so lovely. I didn't get so much as one dirty look. And the thing is, she was trying to manipulate me so hard for months and months and months and months. She must have said hundreds of times to me, you know I couldn't have done it because we were on the phone. We were on the phone for like 20 minutes. What does that prove? I mean, it's kind of like OJ saying, I was on the phone ordering pizza during the day, so I couldn't have killed my wife at night. Like, what does that prove? I mean, she even used my name in her official story. She was just...
Yeah, so basically... whatever. So then the next thing, when I first started notice her going nuts was around last summer when the critical race theory stuff. Remember when critical race theory became the thing that we talked about for a while, conservatives? She really jumped on that train hard. But because she's a narcissist and has to be in charge of everything, it has to be done her way. So critical race theory is anti-white. We all know that. I mean, it teaches white people and white children that they are the oppressors and that black people are oppressed simply by the color of their skin and that we're born with that. You can't teach critical race theory without that fundamental principle of it. She decides one day that critical race, that teaching, that saying what I just said there about critical race theory will attract the wrong crowd, that white supremacists will latch on to that and that they will hurt the messaging. Like, you know, because you're associated with white supremacists, that's bad, which is just a ridiculous premise to begin with. Like you'll see here, like some of these tweets that she would put up. You idiots are going to create an actual white power movement because you don't understand what you're fighting against. Only smart people like Dr. Karlyn here, understand the big picture here. Critical race theory is anti-white, but she got so obsessed and just started blocking and attacking anyone who suggested otherwise. And a commenter on her page, let me pull this up, on her YouTube channel. Let's see what they
offense for most people, and many people who tried to talk to her about it simply got labeled as white supremacists by her. I'm not making it up. There's many examples such as this one. Someone says, I really used to like Karlyn and her work against CRT, but this isn't helping anyone or anything. This whole thing just seems to get pettier and further away from what's important. Karlyn, I'm sorry, but you're using the same argument as these crazy SJWs who scream words or violence and try to cancel everyone who doesn't agree with them. You are right that CRT is about power, but it is also about race because that is the most literal way people understand it.
Yeah, the R in CRT is for race.
CRT is meant to be translated in terms of race because whiteness from the white race is vilified.
Now, we would all agree that that message that you just saw there, that was a very respectful message, right? There was nothing, you know, like this person is a supporter of hers. Like, why wouldn't you'd be like, okay, like a normal person looks at that and be like, well, that's interesting criticism. I'm going to think about that. I might not agree with, maybe I'll reach the conclusion that you're wrong. Maybe I agree with parts of what you're saying. I don't know, but they would be like, well, you're a supporter and thank you for that. That's interesting. But no, not Karlyn. This is what she does to this woman for that, who used her real name, obviously.
And CRT is meant to be translated in using probably their real name for their account. And Karlyn screenshots this and posts it to her 70,000+ Twitter followers and says, I've seen a lot of comments like this on my channel recently, and it was confusing to me at first, but now I get what's happening. This is the actual white power movement attaching itself to the anti-CRT movement, and it's suckering people in. It's the same language. Now, there's many.
It confused me at first, she says. Like, I saw people saying I was wrong, and it confused me. Because how could I be wrong? I'm Karlyn. I'm always right. It literally has never thought. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute. I get it now. You're a white supremacist. You're a white supremacist. She actually wrote that. I've seen a lot of comments like this on my channel. So like a lot. Like if I saw a lot of comments that were all, you guys were all like, Turtleboy, you're wrong about this one, I would think about it. Like you people with the sharks. I was right about the sharks. But other things like people have come at me with, I'm like, what? I'm going to think about that. But not her. She's like, oh, actually, you're just white supremacists. Duh. And she doxes the woman. Not doxes her, but puts her information out there.
White power movement attaching itself to the anti-CRT movement, and it's suckering people in. It's the same language. Now, there's many more examples, but you get the idea. People would just give their opinions to Karlyn, and she would call them white supremacists. This got the attention of Tree of Logic, a black conservative woman.
All right, so let's I'm gonna jump around here. So here's the part about the Jews. This gets interesting here.
They showed me a wall where I could be dependable, clinical, oh, intellectual, cynical.
Things really started coming to a head in early December of 2021 when Karlyn went on Twitter and explained to people that Hitler went to heaven because Jews chose to die in the Holocaust. This is apparently part of her spiritual belief system. She elaborated on it a bit in other tweets. For example, she said, I believe that everyone always chooses to live or die. Everyone always. Aborted children choose to be aborted. If they choose to be born into human form in the future, they can. Sounds like a total cope that someone who aborted their child would come up with, but what do I know? Karlyn obviously has some kooky beliefs. You know, she has like a psychic guy on her channel sometimes, and they do tarot readings and stuff like that. She commissioned this painting, this demonic painting, which she's very happy about and proud of. She keeps showing it off. She posts about her tarot cards, and if you look here, you can see that the depiction of the devil on the tarot card looks a lot like the painting that she had commissioned. I mean, look, it is what it is. If you want to worship Satan and praise Hitler, that's your business. This is America. It's a free country. However, not everyone is as
like, basically conservatives in general need to be careful about who we attach ourselves to. Just because someone comes along, it's like with Kanye. Remember everybody fell in love with Kanye for a bit there when he was on Tucker? Like, oh, Kanye's deep and thoughtful. The next day he's like, so let's talk about the Jews. And we're like, yep. Well, that was fun while it lasted. Like, well, that's the end of that. Like, stop falling in love with people who come along and say something that you want to hear and then just attach yourselves to them. Like, be very careful of that. Like, find out who they are first.
Open-minded as I am. And so PragerU dropped Karlyn. They deleted her video off of their YouTube channel after her hot take about the Jews, which Karlyn responded to by saying that a woke conservative mob was canceling her because she's not Christian.
And ever since June, I've been telling people the right is canceling people, the right is canceling people, and all I hear is, oh, no, we don't do that.
Bitch, we don't, like, except in extenuating circumstances. Like when you say Hitler went to heaven and Jews wanted to die in the Holocaust. Yeah. And that's not canceling either. That's just like, you can't do that. Duh. It's just common sense. Like we don't have to attach ourselves to you. And it's not like outrage even sparked that. Like they just read that and be like, what? We don't want to be associated with you, you fucking lunatic. And then she's like, I'm canceled. And this is when she starts her whole thing. Like, actually, the conservatives are just snowflakes too, because they don't like when I talk about Jews. What? Okay.
Well, now I've been canceled. by one of the biggest organizations on the right for having a different spiritual belief.
Spiritual belief?
You really want to look me in the eye and tell me the right doesn't cancel people?
Well, we do. Like you know,
the problem that we have in this country right now is not actually left versus right, because the left and the right are the same.
What? No, they're really not. So she talks about some of the personal falling outs here, like with the Kieran White situation. We've kind of been over that. I'm going to jump ahead here to, do you guys know who James Lindsay is? James Lindsay is like one of the most prominent anti-CRT people on, or he used to be on Twitter. He got banned from Twitter for being anti-CRT and anti-transgenderism. He was a good follow, conceptual James, they called him. But she was another one that he was another one that she was associated with. And this is what she tells Kieran about James Lindsay. Just, you got to read this. Talk about narcissistic.
I wanted to show you before we move on from this part of the story. I think James Lindsay is in love with me or something. Ha ha ha. He's liking all my tweets. How else can you tell if someone is in love with you these days? I feel like he turned notifications on for me or something. So any posts he misses will be of utmost concern. I feel so much pressure. On with Joshua. Joshua says he thinks James Lindsay would let me give him a blowjob. Just FYI. I don't want to know anymore. I mean, if that's what's required to get him to stop saying anti-white, I can take one for the team. James Lindsay keeps lying about leaving Miami right after our panel too. I'm like, dude, you literally have an event in Miami on Monday. You're not leaving. If I ever get the chance, I am 100% sleeping with James Lindsay. He has a wife and kids. I didn't say marry him. The majority of people don't sleep with other people when they are married and have kids. It would end his marriage, oh lordy. You don't know that, and you don't know what arrangement he has with his wife. I don't either. I'm not suggesting forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to. I can't imagine worse sex than someone who doesn't want you. I'm just saying that if the opportunity was there, I'd totally do it.
That's James Lindsay. I mean, talk about narcissistic. Like, have you ever looked in the mirror? Like, look at you. You look like a fucking potato. Look at you. You're a boy. Like, you look, you're, I mean, let's be honest, Karlyn. You're probably going to see this and cry about it. Like, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you because you need to hear this. And you're a shitty person too, so I don't mind telling you that. Like, you're fat. Okay. So unless the guy's has a fetish, like, strike one, nobody's like that sexually attracted to you. Your personality sucks, which makes you even less fuckable. You're annoying, and nobody wants to sleep with you, including your cuck husband, Victor. Okay? Even the pedophile guy, he probably doesn't even want to fuck you either. You're way too old for him. Way too old for him. Like, Kieran doesn't want to fuck you. James Lindsay doesn't want to fuck you. I still can't believe you're not a lesbian. Like, everything about you screams lesbian, but for whatever reason, you're into dick, whatever. Nobody wants to fuck you. Nobody wants to stick their dick in you. Nobody wants your mouth on their dick at all. Like, no. And there's a lot of people are like, well, blowjobs, is it? Is it though? I guess it's one way to shut her up, but it's like, no. Stop it. So no, James Lindsay.
The list of associates who ended up having a grievance with Karlyn
the next part here is about this woman, Carrie Smith, who he explains it pretty well here. And Carrie Smith is her biggest obsession.
Too long for me to go through all of them, but I would be remiss to not mention at least one more of these people, and that is a lady by the name of Carrie Smith.
Because obviously I still live in Carrie Smith's head rent free. Carrie, if you ever see this video, you better not come to Porkfest because I will kick the ever-loving fuck out of you, and you better believe it. Because Carrie Smith is obsessed and trying to cancel me. Carrie Smith is not a knitter. Carrie Smith pretends to be a knitter. She's not a knitter. Carrie Smith. Oh, I don't think Carrie's going to come to Porkfest, Lisa. I'm not worried about Carrie Smith filing a police report. I don't think Carrie Smith has the balls to come anywhere near me if she's smart. Be Carrie Smith claim.
And this is why I don't like Carrie Smith. I may or may not have spoken to her. I'm not saying I did, but a lot of these people are clearly intimidated by this woman. And that's why she goes after them, because she can sense weakness. She probably hasn't blocked Carrie Smith. She talks about her nonstop, but she blocked me real quick. Because that's what bullies like her do. They go after the weak. They go after people like, well, she's not fighting back, so I'm just going to keep fucking with her. And poor Kieran, I'm going to keep fucking with him. And Mike Harlow, I'm going to keep fucking with him. And if they fight back, ooh, that's going to be bad news for them. I'm going to talk about them. She will never say a word about me on her show. She will never do it because she doesn't want fucking that. She doesn't want that. And she knows that, like, obviously I'm more like, let's be perfectly fucking honest, Karlyn. Like, you don't exist. You're one of these people that doesn't exist outside of Twitter anymore. You've been erased by PragerU. Those videos are gone. You were a thing like 2 years ago. My followers, most of them had no fucking clue who you were. Like, we both live in New England, and I would venture to believe more people in New Hampshire are more familiar with Turtleboy than they are with whatever you are. So you're just not that fucking important. And you know that I have the platform too, to like, you like, I'm not some fucking nobody, right? You know who I am. You just don't want that smoke. Because, you know, Carrie Smith ain't going to come to Sportsmith. I might though. And like, the people like this are just all talk on the internet and whatever. It's like, no, I'm the guy that shows up. Actually, ask Monica Cannon Grant about that. We could protest, or we can do that. I ask Tony Branch how that turned out. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish you would, but you won't, because you're fucking scared of me, Karlyn. At the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. You know who I am. You followed me on Twitter. You unfollowed me, and then you blocked me because you don't want any part of this. And that's why you, and by the way, she's running for fucking governor. This is why libertarians, she was nominated for governor, nominated by the Libertarian Party. This is the best they could come up with. This woman, this is what everything that's wrong with the Libertarian Party.
Claims to be a former SJW. This is a beast that Carrie Smith has fanned the flames of, that evil fucking cunt.
Whoa.
I will never forgive this bitch.
Whoa.
I don't hate many people. Carrie Smith could have just walked the fuck away.
So what did she do? So what did she do? Let's find out here.
Having watched hours and hours of Karlyn's streams over the last couple of weeks, she seems to blame Carrie personally for almost everything that's gone wrong in her life over the last couple of years. And I was trying to understand why. And as far as I've been able to suss out, Carrie Smith is a YouTuber and a podcaster with a modest following. She has about 10,000 YouTube subscribers and about 25,000 Twitter followers, but she's been doing this for a while, even longer than Karlyn. She was a co-host of a podcast called Unsafe Space, and her shtick, if you will, is being a reformed SJW, basically another one of these I left the left people. And I guess Karlyn was a follower of hers before Karlyn even published her Medium post. Like, Karlyn was watching Carrie's podcast and a fan of her work. And after Karlyn blew up, she had Carrie come on her channel for a couple interviews. Those interviews got lots of views on Karlyn's channel. So they were friendly associates. But then, as far as I can tell, Carrie picked up on some aspects of Karlyn's personality that she didn't like. She saw the red flags, such as what happened at the Inglewood Hotel and some of the other things that Mike Harlow talked about in his video. And Carrie decided to distance herself from Karlyn before things really went south. So she blocked Karlyn on Twitter. And when Karlyn saw that she had been blocked on Twitter, she took this as a very serious betrayal. Also, Karlyn is
and that's what narcissists do. They don't let you just be like, no, I don't want to be friends with you. They're like, you blocked me. I'm going to fucking, how dare you? I'm going to drop everything I'm doing and just declare war on you. Like the woman's just quietly just walking away. Don't really want to associate with you. You know, just going to move on. That's fine. Happens in life.
Really angry that Carrie follows this parody account, which I guess we should take a quick minute to talk about. Somebody on Twitter has an account dedicated to making fun of Karlyn's tweets, and Karlyn really, really hates this account. And I guess Carrie had followed the account at some point, and that seems to be a real particular sticking point for Karlyn.
And then today I'm on Twitter, and I have this account on Twitter that has been stalking me and impersonating me and harassing me and bullying me for months. Now, this account is
also known as a parody account. Stalking me. Imagine, this parody account is stalking me by making fun of me. That account is fucking hilarious, by the way. I highly recommend you follow that account. It doesn't stalk her. It just makes fun of her. It's fucking hilarious. But go on.
Run by Vosh's minions. And I cannot adequately express to you guys how much of a nightmare these people have been in my life. Vosh's minions, the people that are running this goddamn account, are directly responsible for severing a business relationship that cost me anywhere between $100,000 and $250,000 in the last year. That
she lost she lost $250,000 over a parody account. What? Care to detail? Care to explain? Like, you should sue them then. Like, what? That is what? Okay.
They are directly responsible for that. It came after my PragerU video when they started emailing people going, are you aware that Karlyn made a PragerU video? Now, here's the thing. You don't need to work. Like, financially, I am fine. This is not a big deal.
I'm rich.
Honestly, it probably worked out for the better anyway, because I fixed it and I made it up in other ways. And after this happened, I really restructured a lot of my business to make myself basically what I thought was like cancel proof, because I knew these bastards are going to keep coming after me. But it's all directly related to the same people that are running this goddamn account. And guys, I cannot actually adequately emphasize how ridiculous how this has impacted me. How I've described this situation with these particular people
over a fucking parody account.
They impact me in the same way that my own rape impacted me.
Oh my God.
That's how these people make me feel.
Peak
it is
cringe,
exactly the same
cringe.
impact as when I got raped back when I was 25 years old.
I'm sure this
It's
happened
exactly
too.
the same, except it's much more fresh because it's constantly going on. My rape was one night. It was
guys, everybody wants the raper. I mean, everybody guys, when they see that face, they just can't keep their dick in their pants. It's like her ex-boyfriend there when he sees 12-year-old boys. It's just like, how am I not supposed to rape you? I mean, like, what? You're just so hot. Like, what? I'm not saying she didn't get raped, okay? But you know how I feel about this weaponization of rape. Like, and they only bring it up whenever they just want something. Whenever they want to win an argument or something. Like, I was raped. It's like, so what are you going to say to that? Oh, sorry you were about to rape. That sucks. Really sorry about that. Like, what? You're putting in this people in this position where it's like, you're weaponizing your own rape. If it even fucking happened. You know, gun to my head. I doubt it. Okay. Now I got a couple donos here. I got one from Karlyn herself on Karlyn has Cash App me $10. Let me read this Cash App for me. She sent me 10 and it says, "Dear Aidan, I just called one of my attorneys. It took no time at all because of speed dial. And I'm going to sue you for defamation. You have no idea who you are messing with. I am a doctor in psychology, which I study in order to fuck with people. You wouldn't understand because you probably have Asperger's." Come on, Karlyn. Give me you use that one too much. Anyways, you are going down. Fuck you. Fuck the Jews and fuck Carrie Smith. See you in court. Dr. Karlyn Borysenko. P.S. Stop trying to rape me. Okay. Take it easy there. Take it easy. Got another dono here from Kelly. I don't see a message with that. So if she puts a message in the chat, we can bring that up. We also have a $10 one from Scott Starboard here. who says it's time for DeSantis for president. And remember, Republicans vote this Tuesday. Democrats vote on Wednesday. I can't say that or else I'll get kicked off of YouTube. So that's a joke. It's a joke. Also, we got $10 Cash App from Caroline Forth, says for election, looking forward to election night. And Suzanne sends 10 and says for matching Apache Al. So we have reached the, we're going to do the freestyle soon, folks. We're almost done with this presentation.
One night. These people
Thank you for
have
the
been
donuts.
doing this to me for fucking months. And I really can't emphasize, it might seem like a petty thing to have a stalker impersonation account. And I understand that. But like the extent that these people have fucked with my life simply because they don't like that I made a PragerU video, I cannot adequately emphasize it. Okay. Now things are fine now, but they really weren't for a while. And so here's what I discovered today.
Okay, so this is why she mad at Carrie Smith.
I was basically just going through this stalker Twitter account and just blocking the people following it. What do I?
She goes through, the account has like 2,000 followers, the stalker parody account, and she goes through it, and anybody who follows it, she blocks, which is totally sane behavior. Even though, by the way, she has blocked the parody account. So how does she even see it? Well, she explains here.
I discover.
What?
Two of the accounts following this bullying stalker Twitter account that has been a thorn in my side, that has made my life goddamn miserable for months. Carrie Smith's account and Unsafe Space account.
Oh my God.
So why in the holy fucking hell?
Oh my God.
Is Carrie Smith and the Unsafe Space Twitter account following this goddamn stalker account?
What an injustice.
Why? There is absolutely no reason for it other than she's really enjoying watching me get bullied and harassed. And for someone
Carrie Smith, shame on you.
For so many people
Shame on you.
getting bullied and harassed.
How dare you
in the
follow
knitting
that account?
Community that understands the
knitting
impact of bullying and online mobbing. Like, you know what? Listen, when I rail on this shit, I am actually 100% serious. I am people. Carrie especially has accused me of being an inauthentic, like, narcissist. This is actually a thing for me. I wrote a whole doctoral dissertation about workplace bullying. What has Carrie done about fucking online bullying?
John Doyle was so afraid to have a one-on-one conversation with me that he didn't bother
How
to
is she
answer
real?
any text message I sent him.
How
Don't
is she
tell
real?
me he can't be bullied. I would bully the ever-loving shit out of John Doyle if he ever dared have a one-on-one conversation with me.
All right. Sorry. I know that was a lot and hopefully you didn't zone out there, but if you did, basically.
Like, that's wild. That is so wild. So last segment here is the walk away breakup, how she breaks. Now, Brandon Straka is, me and Brandon spoke at an event together. I met him like 3 years ago. I don't know if you guys saw the speech I did in Bill Ricca. He's a nice guy. He's kind of lost. He's kind of fallen off a little bit because he got prosecuted by the feds for January 6th. He went a little overboard on the whole stolen election thing. I don't know if you could say that on this channel. That's why we're on Rumble too. So follow us on Rumble. But he, just like every other person who appears in her life, was like, "You see you later, bitch," and distanced himself from her. And of course, she did what she does with all people. And she was basically like, "I don't really need you anyway. You were getting more out of this relationship than me." And then she did a whole fucking video about it. And she shared his messages. So let's play this. 750.
Now watch what you say, or they'll be calling you a radical, liberal, fanatical, criminal.
Eventually, the whirlwind of drama that seems to follow Karlyn everywhere she goes was too much for Brandon Straka to put up with anymore, and so she was no longer invited to walk away events. Karlyn contacted Straka to ask him about it, and then afterwards did an hours-long live stream where she published their private communications and complained about how walk away was just one big clout-chasing grift.
I mean, it's really upsetting to me. Like, I was used. I was used by PragerU. I was used by conservative media. I was used by Walkaway.
I was used by them. Like, you're not that important to be used. Like, you were just another person that was like, I left the left, and like, okay, yeah, sure. And then they realized you were nuts, and they're like, well, that's the end of that relationship. That was used. Deep thought. She's in deep thought.
It is a really, really overt lesson.
Yep. Really.
That most people in this game don't give two shits about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
They don't even care about the goal.
Nope. Wait, what's the goal?
And that is why they lose over and 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 over again.
So they lose over and over and over again. So that's why she joins the Libertarian Party, which has never won an election ever. But she's really concerned with winning. That's why she's a She's polling right now, guys, by the way, at 1%, according to the polls. 1% in the governor's race. John Sununu is really worried about her.
Let's even just play this out. Brandon comes back. Karlyn, like, you know what? You were right. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Not good enough. Sorry.
What?
Not good enough.
Oh,
again,
Brandon's not.
I think
not
that
good enough.
Walkaway had the potential to get significantly more value out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Than I had potential to get value out of Walkaway.
Oh.
The reason that I would have supported Walkaway is because it was the right fucking thing to do.
Like, Walkaway was a huge organization that made Brandon Straka probably a lot of money, and they needed her more than she needed them. She believes this. Only a fucking disillusioned, deranged narcissist could possibly reach that conclusion. But she believes it. She truly believes that.
Because I want people leaving the Democratic Party. But I no longer believe that Walkaway cares about people leaving the Democratic Party, because if they did care about people leaving the Democratic Party, they probably wouldn't cut out the person who literally wrote the fucking book about fighting back against the woke left.
Oh, she's
you
a
guys
huge...
know what I charge for a speech?
Oh, listen to this. Check this out.
I charge my speeches, unless I'm doing someone a favor, start at like $8,000.
Well of the logic of it was a gift the whole time, but in order...
Does anybody believe that? $8,000 to have her speak? Come on. Karlyn, nobody wants to hear you speak ever. Ever. You hear some bitch with a YouTube channel and a Twitter. You don't even know a blue check mark. You even pay the $8 to get one? Come on. So, yeah. Fucking hilarious, man. Absolutely hilarious. I could watch this bitch's videos for hours, but unlike her, I'm not going to obsess. We're doing a show, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. But y'all paid for a freestyle, so I think you should get it. Let's do the freestyle. Give me 1 second. Let me just test it first. All right. Can you guys hear me if I play it in the background like this? Can you guys hear that? She's a cunt. Oh, yeah. We didn't do where you repping, huh? Let's just do that real quick. Actually, we'll do it after this. Actually, we'll do it right now. Could you guys hear that, by the way? Okay, you could. Let's do a little where you repping. We didn't do that. How do I not do the show without where you repping? So let us know in the comments right now where you watching the Turtleboy live show from tonight. Then we'll do this spiel. We'll freestyle rap. We got Glendale, Arizona is in the house. Excellent. Hopefully you're voting. Hopefully you're voting in Glendale. What else we got there? Apache Junction, Arizona is in the house. Carlin's Head is in the house. Tucson's in the house. A lot of Arizonas. Hope you guys all voting for Blake Masters and Kerry Lake in a couple days. Manchester's in the house. Excellent. Scituate's here. Auburn's here. Clinton, Massachusetts is here. Dover, Delaware. Olympus, Maine. Brookline. Worcester's in the house. Waterloo, Iowa. Malden, the Berg, Buzzards Bay. Hanson's in the house. Landon, Ontario. Ware, Massachusetts. Hopkinton is in the house. Hanson is here. Applebee's with KP and Shannon. Excellent. Brett's condemned home. He doesn't have a home. Stop it. Backwoods, New Hampshire, Florida, UK, Nantwich versus UK. Excellent. Masters Lake, Grafton, Winthrop, Asima Silva's house. Which one? Franklin's here. Kate Peters' children's parents' house. Far away from Kate. Excellent. Peabody. Easton is in the house. Newton, Bill Rick, Oregon, already voted. Hopefully you voted for our girl out there. Drazen's the one we want, right? The Republican that's going to win. We want her. Jacksonville, Florida is in the house. South Coast, Massachusetts. Well, he doesn't. You know, Brett's never owned property. Stop it. Okay, so let's do this freestyle, shall we? Election season in the Granite State. Maggie and Bolduck trying to debate. Meeting of the minds up in Manchester. Donnie got accosted by a protester. Police thought that it might be something big, but it's just Orga squeal like a pig. It was so ghetto, quite an epic fail. Never send a virgin with a ponytail. Not a big deal, barely worth the mention. Just Grundle Silkskin looking for attention. If you stand for nothing, you're just a contrarian. Congratulations, cause you are a libertarian. Turtleboy coverage was fake news, according to the psycho bitch with the tattoos. Turns out the crazy hoe goes by Karlyn. Angry like a hippo, greasy like a marlin. Everywhere I looked, she was up in my mentions. Getting noticed was her only intentions. It was clear right away that the bitch was bitter. Couldn't handle Turtleboy, blocked me on the Twitter. 30 days a month, she goes through menstruation. No one else ran, so she got the nomination. Landed a sweet gig with PragerU. Threw it down the drain because she doesn't like the Jew. First, I couldn't figure out why she's so hostile. Might be your type if I was a pedophile. Went and fell in love with the dude named Aaron. Jealous of kids because she don't like sharing. Somehow relationship didn't go sour when she found out with the kid in the shower. If you bring it up, she will scream defamation. If you turn it down, then it's infatuation. Kearney turned it down because she wasn't his type. Then the bitch lost her mind because she craved the pipe. Thought it would be weird that she's on the dude crotch. Her husband don't care because he like to watch. When it comes to Twitter, she should take a breather. Don't call Tim Pool because he don't like you either. Been a bully bitch for way too long. Narcissistic cunt can't admit when you're wrong. If you try to sue me, better do it right because I'm Turtleboy and I live for the fight. What? Come on! All right, there we go. So suck on that, Karlyn. That's your freestyle, bitch. Block me again, motherfucker. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Let's do a little Ask Turtleboy to end it. Sorry I didn't get to any other stories. There was just too much there. Too much. But got a big week coming up. Excited about election night on Tuesday. We're going to take our country back. So any fire emojis there? Glad you like the new mic, man. That's my Rogan mic. Appreciate it. Yeah, Joe and Kate, they definitely deserve each other for sure. Sounded like my videos. Stop it. You've never seen the whole one. I don't think those videos have sound either. But all right. Anybody else have any questions they want to ask? So Chille, by the way, also chimed in on this, and he did this huge thing, like calling out the Goffstown police, calling them pigs, and my friend Joa Orga. And again, that's who the libertarians are now associated with, is Chille. So there you go. You got Chille in your corner. Now, Chille announced today that he's dropping his lawsuit against Krusty Panties and Josh, and that in return, he wants them to take the videos down. Of course, they're not going to, the things they've said about him. Of course, they're not going to do that, because why the fuck would they do that? And it just hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. They're both con artists. They've just scammed together between Krusty Panties and Chille. The two of them have probably made 50 grand, something like that, in legal fees. Spent a couple grand, maybe, if that. And now it's just over. And they're both just cashing the checks. It's amazing. It's amazing what these two they deserve each other. They have found each other. They're both scammers, and they have both scammed the public. They've created this feud on YouTube where their idiot followers just get so invested in it and they hate the other side so much and that they donate to their guy because they're going to take him down, and then neither does anything. They're both just fucking scammers. Chille took off to South America. He really did. He's like in Colombia or some shit right now. Oh my God. Like, I have no doubt in my mind they planned that shit. No doubt in my mind that was all fucking planned by both of them to just create this fucking online feud and then just do that. No doubt in my mind. Kate says she's going to donate the rest of the money to her list kids. What's her list kids? She's not donating shit. She's going to pocket all that. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, as far as I know, Monica's still March 7th. I don't have the Chrissy court date yet. So, I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, I'll give it to them. It's fucking brilliant. Like, what if they did that and it was all planned, which I believe it was. Good for them. Good for them. You're a fucking retard if you donated to them. So if you gave money to Krusty Panties, then that money wasn't made for you anyway. You're a fucking moron. Like, any scammer could have come along, sold you a bunch of shit, and you would have paid for it. So you were going to lose that money eventually. Put it that way. Yeah, definitely not her kids. Her kids ain't shit. Like, and that's at the end of the day, it's all comes down to Kate Peter had 4 kids. 2 of them were permanently taken away from her due to neglect and abuse. That makes her a horrible person. The other 2 were spent most of their lives in foster care and are now permanently fucked up from her. So the fact that she would think that she could judge anyone else is fucking hilarious. So there's never forget that. Like, that's all that matters. Nothing else matters. Like, you abuse children and you lost them. I don't abuse kids, and I spend my entire weekend and weekdays with them. I'll be putting them on the bus tomorrow. Although my daughter's a little sick right now, so she might be staying home with me. Well, that's the beauty of what I do is I have what's called both a job and a business. I am my own boss. Unlike you, Kate, I don't work for somebody. I don't go and sit in a fucking cubicle and call plumbers and tell them to come fix the clogged pipe over at the Section 8 house in West Bridgewater. Unlike you, I am my own boss, and I generate my own revenue, and I create my own product, and I'm successful. And I don't have to leech on to other people to make something of myself. I just go and build my own shit. That's what I do. You don't do that. So you wouldn't understand the first thing about that. So yeah, that's the beauty of what I do. Anyway, the Branch court date is December 20th. And I found another Tony Branch video. He's talking some shit about me. We're going to have to talk about that tomorrow. And you're a narcissist. I'm not a narcissist because a narcissist is incapable of self-introspection. Like when people criticize me, I actually think about that. And I'm like, do they have a point? Maybe I am an asshole. I'm easily manipulated by narcissists. I'll tell you that much. LG is the ultimate one. And she got me pretty good. I'm not going to lie. But yeah. So there's that. You're a narcissist. Oh, good one. Corrected. Good one. So, we doing an election special live. I'll have an announcement for that. If I do, I'll put it up. So just check. And I don't think Kate is a narcissist because Kate knows that she's not anything. She's a scammer. Kate is just a scammer. That's what she is. Yes. Luckily, she has disappeared. I mean, she just disappeared. She's completely irrelevant now. Go away. Never want to see you again. See you later. Yeah. So it is what it is. And they've all just kind of gone away. Have you noticed that? It's great. The only one still obsessed with me is Krusty Panties. Even like I haven't heard from Brett in a while. Have you guys? He's gone. He doesn't matter. None of these people matter. They all go away eventually. She got me on video. Well, I got myself on. Well, you don't think I have her on video? Like, you don't think I have videos too? I have fun videos. My videos are way better. Way better. If you like Jackson Pollock, if he's your favorite painter, they call me Jackson Pollock sometimes. Yeah. Oh, it is glorious. Let me tell you, but we'll see. Maybe she'll release them. That's one thing I'm like, is she ever going to release those? I think she wants me to release them just so she can be the center of attention again. I think that's what she truly wants. So it wouldn't surprise me if one day some videos are out there and you start seeing them. I didn't put them out there. Just know that. But should share with TB subs. Maybe if you join Turtle Club, maybe we can put it on there. We'll see. We'll see. Gross TV. It's not that gross. I mean, it's artful. I'll tell you that much. It looks good. I'm not going to lie. It's professionally done. Well, yeah, duh. Yeah, did Brett ever take you up on that, Lauren, to come on the show? We'll see. No, we don't. Exactly. You don't want to see. Oh, my goodness gracious. Listen to a Washington Post reporter. He thinks Republicans win Senate seats in Georgia, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. Yep, I think those three are definitely more likely. Definitely. No, it is. I mean, she's a whiz with filters. Let's just put it that way. A whiz with the filters. And whatever. The Agawam mother. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll talk about her another show. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry I didn't have time to get to that. I thought the Karlyn stuff was interesting. So 54. I'm with you, Dave. I think it's gonna be 54 too. I think Bolduc's gonna win now. I do. So I'm gonna be joined by some people. Lauren's into politics, so she's gonna join me on Tuesday night as well. I mean, Chille's just such a bitch too. Chille blocked me. He's such a little pussy. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, just ran a little bit late, Just ran a little bit late. And thank you, Kelly, for the donation as well. I did get yours. I don't know if I can read it. Oh, now the turtle chats are coming up. Oh, so Kelly donated 10 and she just said, thank you. So thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that, Dono. I don't know why they're just coming up now. Scott Starboard says, it's time for DeSantis for president. And remember, Republicans vote this. Okay. Yeah. I think I read this one. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Thoughts on the game today? And how about the fight in Irish? So the game, dude, I mean, my thoughts on the game today. Do you guys feel good about that win? I mean, the defense is good. The defense is Matthew Judon is a contender for defensive player of the year. I think Micah Parsons is going to be tough to beat for that, but what he's doing is just unfair right now. He's so dominant. But I mean, you're going against Ellinger. He's not a real quarterback. I mean, how is he a better alternative than Matt Ryan? I don't know. I know Matt Ryan's not what he used to be, but he's not that bad. It's hard to feel that good about what happened today. Kendrick Bourne looked fucking awful, like the mistakes he was making. People aren't getting, there was never a throw from Mac where you were like, wow, that was a fucking great throw. I mean, there was one where he kind of threw it behind to Myers. Myers is their best receiver, which sucks. I mean, the tight ends are good. They're looking for Jono a lot, and I think that's good, getting him involved. Obviously, Ramondre Stevenson is probably their best offensive player, but they're mediocre. They're beating the teams they should beat. They should have beat Chicago, obviously. They should have beat Green Bay, who clearly is a sucky team, not a good team at all. Tampa Bay sucks. The Rams suck. They all suck. I don't know who's good. I'm very confused by all this. The Jets beat the Bills today. I don't know where the fuck that came from. And Notre Dame, man, looked great. I mean, Notre Dame is the best 3-loss team I've ever seen. They can beat anyone, but they can lose to anyone too. And they have. They've lost to Marshall and goddamn Stanford, who blows. So, I mean, the college football playoff right now, it's interesting. It's going to be obviously Georgia. Right now it's Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and probably either Tennessee or TCU. We'll get the last one. The problem with Tennessee is they can't win the SEC anymore. They can't even get to the final. They can't even get to the championship because Georgia's in the East with them. So they can't, there's no big statement game coming up for them. So they'll finish 11-1 without a conference championship. But they'll have wins against LSU and Alabama, which is fucking wild. So how do you put 2-loss LSU in over them if they win the SEC? How do you put, I mean, I don't know. I think Tennessee should still get in. I think there should be 3 SEC teams, but we'll see. I'll be able to stream from the party with all the candidates. Yeah, I love it. All my Arizona people, go out and vote for them. Yeah, they looked okay. Judon is a beast. Is KP's violation of RO hearing that's coming up on, I believe, the 15th. The 15th. So she could still use her legal fees for that, which she probably should have in the first place because it's a serious trouble she's in. Thank you, 13 Kings. I appreciate that. What do I think about Bama going down? I mean, Royce Young's fucking great. But LSU is LSU. I mean, I thought Brian Kelly's a good coach, apparently. And they were home. It was kind of an ugly game. Bama's not as good as they don't have the playmakers like they have in previous years, but they're still Alabama. Their season's over now. They can't do anything. I don't even think they can win the SEC anymore unless LSU gets upset by Texas A&M or something. Bill Maher, definitely not a Democrat. There are 2 parties, so he votes that way. Right. I don't think he's one of the, I mean, he's definitely liberal on some shit. On a lot of shit. Abortion, healthcare, stuff like that. But he's not into the woke stuff. Still not sold on Drew Pines. Oh, no. I mean, Drew Pines is mediocre. You're not going to win. No. Don't snooze on LSU. Well, they got 2 losses though, so they can't. I don't see how LSU makes the playoff. No 2-loss team has ever made the playoff before. So ESPN's in bed with the SEC. If Georgia's undefeated, Tennessee. No. I mean, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. The SEC is superior. Like, dude, if there was a 6-team playoff, it would 4 should be from the SEC. Like, come on. Who would be favored if Tennessee played Michigan tomorrow? Tennessee would be favored. There you go. Who would be favored if Alabama played Michigan tomorrow? Alabama would be favored. Well, if LSU played TCU tomorrow, LSU would be favored by 2 touchdowns because they're better. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and Tennessee, but Ohio State and Michigan both can't make it because they have to play each other. And one of them will lose, presumably, and not even make the Big Ten final when that happens. So how are you gonna? I mean, how's that gonna work? And what are their big wins? Tennessee has huge wins on their schedule, man. Tennessee beat LSU, Alabama, and Kentucky. And they got South Carolina coming up too. They're gonna beat them. Those are big names, man. Who's Ohio State's statement win? I mean, Notre Dame? Other than that, they got nothing. Who's Michigan's big statement win? Maryland? Like, who's their biggest win? If guilty, will Kate go to jail? Nah, she's not going to go to jail, but she'll have a record. Nobody goes to jail in the state. If she can change the reason for the purpose of the funds without telling the people who, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. I mean, who's going to do anything, you know? Ole Miss still has a better conference record than Alabama. Yeah, for now, but they have to play each other next week. So Ole Miss has one loss. They lost to LSU by 25. Not a good game. And that was their first big game, and they got murdered. And so they got Alabama next week, and I assume Alabama is going to be favored in that game, like they are every year with Ole Miss. Looks like Be Careful is pretty familiar with that situation. Thoughts on Trump's new name for DeSantis? Gay, man. I mean, it was whack. Dude, I didn't think DeSantis was going to run before, and now I do. I think DeSantis senses weakness with Trump. He's handled it very well. He hasn't responded or engaged. He's focused on winning this election. But Trump is obviously jealous of DeSantis because he looks at DeSantis and it's like, well, DeSantis is clearly very popular, like the biggest threat he's had from the right so far. And in states like Georgia and in Texas, Trump is losing in polls to DeSantis. Not overall, he's not. But in some states he is. And that's not a good sign. Because you're Trump. It's your party. But DeSantis is younger and better at it. And Trump knows it and he's insecure about it. That's what it comes down to. I don't think college is better than the NFL. I don't. Because I watch, they can't throw. The fucking quarterback suck in college. That's what sucks. Watch the Michigan game. Michigan can't throw. There's like 3 teams that Ohio State can throw, Alabama can throw. I mean, Hendon Hooker, look at some of those passes he missed yesterday. Just ugly. Even Georgia can't fucking throw. The quarterback's 28 years old or whatever. He's not going to the NFL. If I won Powerball, yes, of course I would still run Turtleboy. Absolutely. Because I think the Donos would stop, but yes, I would. I would need something to do. Michigan would not be favored over Alabama. Stop it. Stop it. SEC champ gets in with 2 losses. Name a team that's ever gotten in with 2 losses before into the playoffs. It's never happened. Come on. Auburn had 2 regular season losses, had wins over Georgia and Bama heading into the... They were not ranked number 1 going into that week. They were not. No. They were not. I go back and revisit that. I remember that season well. I know exactly what you're talking about. Clemson was ahead of them too. That was like Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Like those are good teams back. No. You're they were in the conversation. I remember that 2-loss Auburn team was in the conversation to make the playoff, but they were definitely not number 1. And there was one year where Penn State had 2 losses and they were in the conversation if they won the Big Ten. Hopefully the Texas Longhorns beat TCU this week. And that's the thing with the Big 12. It's like, I look at TCU, it's like, they're going to lose. Somebody's going to beat them. Texas is favored over them. These Big 12 teams are fake, and they beat the shit out. It's not that bad of a conference, but they just beat the shit out of each other. Like Kansas State could win. Kansas won this week. You never know with these Big 12 teams. There's no way TCU is going undefeated. Baylor won the Big 12 last year with 2 losses. And the same with the Pac-12. Oregon got cream pied by Georgia at the beginning of the year. Their quarterback is Bo Nix from Auburn. He sucked at Auburn. He goes to the Pac-12. He's good again. Come on. Pac-12's not doing shit. Big 12's not doing shit. It's like, that's what kind of sucks about college football. It's the SEC, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan. Those are the only teams in the conversation every year. And, you wish some of these teams would take the leap. Like Michigan finally took the leap last year, finally made it. They finally won the Big Ten. But why is it Ohio State every year? Tennessee finally took the leap this year. But why doesn't it happen more often? Why is Penn State always the 3rd best team in the Big Ten? Always. Why? You know they're going to lose to Michigan. You know they're going to lose to Ohio State. They're going to have 2 losses every year to those 2 teams. Like, how come Penn State can't take the leap? How come, I don't know, pick an SEC team? Like, how come Arkansas can't take the leap, or goddamn Ole Miss? Why can't they take the leap? Why can't they just get there? Why can't Auburn get there? They can't ever fucking do it. It's like Georgia's going to be, will Florida ever come back? I don't know. It's weird. Big Ten isn't that bad. It's not that good either. I mean, who's the 3rd best team in the Big Ten? Penn State? Illinois? Come on. Maryland? Minnesota? Better than the ACC? Well, yeah. The ACC's not that bad this year. Wake Forest is okay. NC State's okay. North Carolina, Notre Dame beat the shit out of North Carolina, so maybe you're right. I wish the GOP put more money in Colorado. Nah. It has them down 2 points. I think O'Day will lose by like 7 or 8 points at least. I don't think he had a shot. It's hard. You're right. It's hard to genuinely criticize DeSantis. Like, what is your argument for criticizing him? The new thing they're going after him for, they're saying, oh, well, he's a Paul Ryan guy. And Jeb Bush, he likes him because Jeb Bush said he'd vote for him. And so did Paul Ryan. It's like, so that's DeSantis' fault? Because these guys would vote for him? Like, you're reaching. You're reaching. And that's a good question. Would Florida stay red if DeSantis is go? Yes, I think DeSantis's greatest contribution to our country so far is that he has made Florida permanently red. Like, because so many people have moved there. So many conservative people have moved there. He's created an oasis for conservatives. And they're all moving there. Everybody wants to move to Florida because it's free. He's done a great job as branding that. And when he leaves, people like the people in Florida, like, we need him there. It's like, no, you're good. You'll be in good hands. Your state has no shot of electing a Democrat ever again. Not in a generation, at least. The plan to expand. Yeah. So like, I am looking, I'm going to be very soon looking for more bloggers. So I've thought about this and how I want to do this. I don't want bloggers from Massachusetts or this area. I want people from other areas that are looking to write, looking to express themselves, looking to write about things in their area. Because I want Turtleboy to be franchised, right? The things that I'm uncovering here, this can be done anywhere. And that's kind of how I grew initially. I remember I was a Worcester-based blog. I'm not from the South Shore. So I got South Shore Turtle Girl and North Shore Turtle Babe and these people to like write about stories from their area. And I grew audiences there as a result of that. So I will be, I don't have much of an audience in Connecticut and I really should. Like I would take a blogger from there or New York or New Jersey or Pennsylvania, something like that. So going to be looking soon. It's hard to find the people who have the voice. But we're going to be looking, and once you start doing that, it's all going to be on a contingency basis. Basically, you get paid per page view. Essentially, there's no salary, and because I'm looking for people that are serious, people who are dedicated to this, people who are going to put an effort in and invest time into it, and want to and believe in it, and want to make money doing it. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Okay. Anybody else? You guys, we got college football fans in the house. Nice to see. DeSantis said the Blues days. I'm sure he hasn't met with everybody that's moved to Florida. I'm interested in news. I'm interested in bloggers from anywhere. All right. So I guess we'll call it a night, guys. And thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the donos. Hope you guys like the freestyle. And we'll see you guys. We might see you tomorrow for a live. We'll see how I'm feeling. Otherwise, we'll see you Tuesday night for election night, folks. Peace, Turtle Riders.